Hello, good evening. Welcome to episode 36 of Figure It Out. I'm Mikey. This guy over here, that's the Kanan.
Oh,
There you go. Show him the goods, buddy. Well done. Well
I
done.
just pulled something real bad.
Yep, I heard the tear.
Real bad. Yep, that's gonna bruise.
With us tonight, we have Bill and Mike from Fresh Monkey Fiction and Big Bad Toy Workshop. I am super excited to talk to you guys. How are you, gentlemen, this evening?
Doing great.
Doing very well. Thanks for having us.
Awesome.
Hi, Mikey's mom.
Hi, Mom. So you guys foolishly agreed to be on the show. That's super exciting. Thanks for doing that. We're excited to talk about some toys, fellas.
We're excited to talk about toys too. We just got back from San Diego.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did that go? As if we'll take a few minutes, kind of talk about that.
It went great. It was.
That is still like the Super Bowl of toys. I mean, how does that work for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, have you all been? Have you been to Comic-Con? Oh man, I live in California, so it's easy for me to go, right? So I've been going for a long time. I always encourage everyone to say, like, if you can, I know it's a big thing, but if you can get out there at least once, it's pretty awesome. We had we were able to partner with Toynami and get some space at the show, and it was really great. It was great. Fans came by, and it was something that we didn't know we were doing at the beginning of the year, and we got this chance to do it a couple months ago, and we brought a bunch of stuff for people to see, and we were so excited that people came by and talked to us, and it was awesome. It was great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually our first time out there too. So the capacity of the building and what it can hold and whatnot, and then you actually see it, and there's just the traffic and exposure was just it was so good. Yeah.
That was the first time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been going forever. It was the first time Mike had been out there, but it was the first time that really Big Bad had a presence on the floor, and then also the fact that we could bring Workshop out to everybody was really exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
By the way, guys, to let chat know what we're going to do tonight. Got questions for him? What we'll do is I will star comments. Mikey's going to be cruising. He's going to be steering this ship. He's the captain now. Okay.
Yarr.
I'll watch out for the chats. Any questions? If you can preface it with a question, cue or something. I'm old, chat. Help me out. Okay. And then throughout, we'll try to get to him instead of waiting all of them at the end. We're going to try to do them throughout the whole show.
Yep.
Cool.
So I guess we should get to. Hold on a second, dude. What's up, Tony? How you doing, buddy?
What's up, Tony?
I guess the question that's on, it seems to be on most people's minds, is where are we at with delivery, that kind of stuff. I guess that's the 800-pound gorilla. So let's just smack it on the ass and let it on its way, right?
Oh my God! Yes.
Logistics.
Well, I mean, that someone asked because it's been a while since someone's asked where
for sure.
Where's my stuff?
It's totally a valid question. So we'll be up before GTA 6, so that's good.
That's great. That's a great timeline.
The containers have been booked. So what that means is basically the stuff is essentially on the water now, and it's about a 30-day turnaround time right now. So don't quote me on this because a lot can happen, once you travel across the ocean. But by the time it lands, it's supposed to be to the Big Bad warehouse like let's call it mid-September. Give or take a week to process, book a truck over, and then process and get pre-orders rolling. But trust us, we are super anxious. We know how many people are waiting, and we will get those pre-orders processed probably faster than anything else that's pending that day. So that's the timeline.
I will confess it's also a little late because I got some samples like 2 months ago, and there were some issues that I needed to get fixed. So that's I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to the stuff we make. We're trying to raise the bar, and nothing's ever done. I don't know if you guys create things or whatever. I'm sure even with this show too, there's always things you want to maybe make better, but there was stuff that I was like, we gotta make some of these changes. And so we got a little behind because of that too. So, but I'm happy that it's getting on the water. The sample that we at San Diego, speaking of San Diego, all the stuff we showed from season 0 and season 2 were production samples. So they're there. So everything folks are seeing from those images are the figures that are, going to get on the boat and be here hopefully September.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hey, let's just get this out of the way.
Oh, it's awesome.
Okay, Trey, I get it. I don't have a Monster Force.
We're gonna correct that, Zach. We're gonna send you a shirt.
Yep.
Okay, I wear a medium, by the way. If you don't have a medium, I get it. I can't. A medium kind of hangs off me, but you know.
I think I got you covered.
Shout out to Trey. What's up, Trey?
Oh, that's awesome. I assumed that those were production samples, but just because I assume that the factory has had the paint masters for some time.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you're saying that's on the water.
Yeah, so season 0, season 2, and I should add some reissues of season 1 and the Project Atlas figure if you're interested in that. That's coming too.
Cool.
Soldiers of Fortune and Order of the Crimson Moon will probably be tail end of the year, potentially early Q1, but we're pushing for end of year.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the thing on the water is like we better talk about what's actually on the water.
Yeah. That's the stuff that people want Crimson Moon and Soldiers of Fortune too, but the big heavy hitters are en route. Yeah.
Nice. That is
and also
prepare the wallets too. I mean, this is the best part because I've worked at Big Bad since 2012. If anyone's unfamiliar, so like you go through these phases. Where's my pre-order? I wanted to make a T-shirt one day, like Big Bad Toy Store. Where's my pre-order on the back? Right. That was a T-shirt that I wanted to create, just kind of like make fun of yourself before someone else makes fun of you. Type
Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it.
No, you got to block.
Stupid background.
It's a tease, guys. Sorry.
Stupid background. What I was going to show you.
The pre-order, where's my pre-order is the number one question, right? It's the number one question our service team gets about everything, right? When you carry 40,000 products, this is what happens. But for this one now, it's like now the stuff comes and it's like, prepare the wallets, because it's a lot,
That's what TC has said right there.
Something like that. So
about pacings or, wallet sacrifice, especially after San Diego Comic-Con. That was nuts.
There's magnets now. Look.
Yeah, we got magnets.
We got magnets. Can you hear the magnets?
No more Velcro.
Magnets. There's magnets in front now,
clean.
as opposed to Velcro. So anyway, I'm just excited about magnets.
Yeah, season 1. Season
here
one
we
magnets.
go.
Season 1 magnets.
Also magnets. Oh, there you go. Mike can hear it. You can hear the magnets.
No more Velcro. Nice and clean.
Velcro.
Little ASMR action there.
I like that.
This action figure world's a little different,
It certainly is. So another question that I guess I've been kind of curious as to the dynamic. I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but the Fresh Monkey Fiction Big Bad Workshop, how does it work together? How does it benefit the customer? Like what does it do for everybody?
Well, I mean, so just a little bit of backstory to kind of get us to where we need to be. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, Fresh Monkey Fiction is my company. Been doing it for 10 years. Working closely with Big Bad and Joel at Big Bad. Joel, wanted to start doing his own manufacturing and offered me a position to come and work at Big Bad. So that's kind of how Workshop was formed. Mike's been there for a long time, and I've been lucky enough to have him on the team. He came over. So, most of the stuff we're doing now is Big Bad Workshop things. A few things are co-branded with Fresh Monkey because those things sort of existed before. Fresh Monkey probably won't be doing anything. It'll still be around. I'm still there. We have a couple of deals that we do outside of Workshop, like Naughty or Nice with Arlen, which I think you guys are probably familiar with, and Long Box Heroes that kind of will stay sort of just Fresh Monkey stuff. But most of this stuff will start to be Big Bad Workshop items. Some things will be co-branded, and then there's some lines that we're doing right now, like cops and NPCs and other things, Project Atlas, that are all going to be just Workshop items.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So each one kind of works their own little angle of their own piece of the pie, so to speak.
Yeah. And again, we're really moving towards, really just talking about what Workshop is doing. I mean, you can see my thing down here, right? It's at Workshop. So I'm at Workshop now full time. Mike's obviously here as well. And that's really where, if you see if it shows, you might see a Fresh Monkey logo around some of the things that we're doing, but banners and stuff will all be kind of Workshop. So it's, we're in our first year of Workshop right now. We've got a lot of awesome plans for obviously the rest of the year and next year as we're looking at doing, more lines, some creative partnerships with some folks. We've got some cool licensing things we're working on. So yeah, a lot of exciting times ahead. Mike, did you want to add anything to that too? Because you're a big part of this as well.
I mean, I think you covered it. Yeah, we're kind of like, Big Bad Toy Store has been around for over 25 years now. and the manufacturing arm is kind of just getting started. So we're off to a really fast start, but it's good and it's exciting for, to inject something new into the, the toy community and just add something else to your shelf that you didn't know you needed, but you probably will.
Is that kind of the evolution, like from Big Bad Toy Store going, the love of toys and going, man, we see a lot of holes that, collectors wanted?
I mean, I think that's fair. It's probably one of the reasons we exist, right? There's some other ideas in the pipeline too. You've been doing retail for so long, and you've got such a name for yourself and an established customer base. It's like, what else can we do for them? After all this time, you have to keep evolving, right? And so I'm really excited with the manufacturing arm because it's a world I haven't really been a part of, and it's like every day you learn something new. And retail, like my background here is like a service and ops type background, so to be able to use those skills, if you will, or whatnot, and connections, we can take conventions on the road again, which we kind of stopped doing because internally we're a really small company, and so when our growth has excelled as it has over the past several years, like you kind of have to prioritize certain things and focus on, the core business, if you will. So being able to take workshop kind of like it's almost like a grassroots feel. I know that sounds strange coming from a company that's like been around for so long, but when you get in front of people, your core fan base, and the reason we're all here, there's nothing better, right? That feedback and the positivity and anything they want to tell you, the features they love about your site, like you can't take that stuff for granted. And it's really good to get out and kind of, it feels like you're out in the world again with the collecting community, and it's awesome. So that's why Comic-Con was so fascinating, because it was such a large, diverse crowd. You had cards and movies and video games and comics and all this stuff, right? It's this huge multiverse, right? But like we've done a small show out in LA, Geeking Out, which I think, shameless plug, they have another one this weekend that we're not going to be at. That was out in LA. That was kind of a pilot to see like, what can we do with this convention strategy? And so then we, got hooked up with Brett and went to Toylanta, and then we did Joe Fest. And Mikey, I believe it was like 1 a.m. when you walked in that night off your flight, and that's where we first met. It was midnight or so. Yeah, and we met in the lobby, so that's where we first connected.
Yeah. So Dad and I drove great. All day for that. We wanted. Did you?
Yeah.
Wanted that.
And then in November we're off to Legions Con. So just some exciting stuff. We've got a couple more shows planned for 2026 that we'll reveal later on, and just really cool to be out with the fans again and put our stuff in front of people. And you can see everything online, right? Online kind of is like it's accessible all the time, but when you actually hold one of these figures, you've never seen one of these before, they're like, oh man, I've seen a lot of people talk about these, or they got to hold one. It's like you can really gain a lot of customers by putting your product in their hands. So it's been really good. It's been a really productive year.
Yeah, and Mikey, to answer your question too, like what does it mean? What does this evolution sort of mean for the fans? I'll kind of cover that a little bit too. So with Fresh Monkey, we were very much I'll say a crowdfunding, in a position to do crowdfunding. Whether we went on Kickstarter or whether we did it on our own site, it was very much like, hey, if there's enough orders here, we'll make it. Yeah. So as we've gotten to our first year, there's still a little carryover from sort of that Fresh Monkey mentality, which then equates to how long things take, right? Like that's we have this 2-year cycle for stuff. So as Workshop is growing, the hope is that we can do things like, oh, hey, we know we're going to make it, so let's go ahead and make it, and then solicit it later, closer to delivery, versus soliciting it early. So we'll cut down those cycles too. One of the things that Mike said is like, we're going to have more of a convention presence. Like Fresh Monkey didn't do a lot of convention stuff because before I started working here, I had a full-time job, another job, which was taking a lot of time. It was very hard for me to do even conventions on the weekends. So we're going to see a lot of those things that Fresh Monkey wasn't capable of doing for various things, and that Workshop can. So, look, I mean, we're basically into year one of this, and we're getting the feedback, learning a lot. We're doing a lot behind the scenes, and I think we'll see a lot of changes around some of that sort of Fresh Monkey way of working to more of a Workshop way of working as we kind of get into it more.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what Jersey is asking there about. Hearing you guys want to do more is great, but the wait times for all of your stuff really kills the excitement. Is there anything to be done to make wait times, which you just went into and was recovering?
Yeah, we don't want to bring him stuff in his hospital bed. I know. I apologize. I don't want to go there. No, we got to beat that. We got to beat that. We got to beat GTA 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what we were always kind of curious about. You want to show something, and then it's like, well, crap, it's going to be 2 years. It's going to be 3 years, and then like what determines when you get take something like to San Diego to show it off.
Right. I think I was kind of operating on the assumption that the Big Bad Toy Store backing would help you skip a couple of the steps. Like right now you're showing stuff as it's rendered and you're showing renderings, but with Big Bad backing, that kind of makes it to where maybe you could even do sculpting and then you just have the tool cutting. Whereas that now you're on to the timeline that toy collectors are used to with watching, Hasbro and Mattel and stuff. When they show you, they're ready to start production pretty quick. So it cuts down on time quite a bit. And the time is the same. It's just when you announce it, it changes, right?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly right. It's when you sort of solicit it. I will say, though, that one of the things that I've really liked about what Fresh Monkey was doing and even what we're doing, and I know it's challenging for folks in terms of timelines, but our products do evolve during that time frame. We, and what I like is, hey, we bring the thing. San Diego's a good example. We got so much feedback for some of the stuff that we showed that we're already making tweaks on it based on that. Versus, here's the thing we're making. It's out to you in 6 months, and people go, well, what if you had done this or that? And that ship is long gone, right? At that point.
Yeah,
sure.
So there's trade-offs. There's trade-offs, I guess, is what I'm saying. And there's like Monster Force. We saw a lot of extra accessories that were added during the process for season 1. Even for season 2, there's some things that, we put into the figures that were not part of the solicitation. When we take stuff to shows, like we really listen to feedback. Like Mike was saying earlier, it's great to connect with people who are interested in the thing that we're doing. And we're listening to that. Like we're listening to that and actively going back and going, hey, we have an opportunity here to make improvements. How do we make improvements? And like I said earlier, I'm constantly reworking things to kind of get where they need to be. So it's, that's an advantage of it. Although I know on the other side of it, it gets a little frustrating. So we're kind of trying to come up with a happy medium where, and also the reason we're calling stuff workshop is for that reason. Like we are workshopping. We are ever evolving workshopping things. Like, you'll start to see more stuff on our social media around things we're thinking about doing and actually behind the scenes of workshop and getting feedback and making, because at the end of the day, the goal is to make the most awesome product possible. And I'm not saying that people in the toy business are not doing that. I'm sure everybody wants to make the most awesome product.
How dare you, Bill? Attack everybody.
But, we're really trying to go, look, we have kind of one shot at this thing. If I'm going to make a long box prestige Madman, it better be the best Madman you have ever freaking seen. And that's really where we're at with it. And so again, we'll probably start to do solicitations later, but it doesn't mean it shows. We might show some things and say, hey, we're thinking about this. Here's something. Here's a 3D print that we did. What's this look like? How much do you like? What don't you like about it? And San Diego was a great example where we'd walk through stuff, people who'd come up and people who were engaging. We'd say, what do you like about that thing? And they're like, oh, this is really cool. Bigfoot's this, or hey, have you thought about adding this, or those kind of things. And that to me is exciting too. Like that, I love talking to folks about what they want to see in the product. And as a fan of other companies who are making stuff, that's sometimes where I get frustrated around, like, oh man, why didn't they just do this? Or how come why are these like this way? And then you scream into a void, right? Because at that point, those things are baked, right? Yeah.
They're done. Tooling's done.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So unless they reissue something or whatever. So again, it's these trade-off things we're looking into, and it's a question that I don't steer away from. It's one I steer into, because that's just kind of the reality of sort of where we're at. But we do hear everybody, and we're like, we're trying to make some changes to help shorten some of those timelines.
Right.
Right on.
I'm glad you brought that one up, specifically on the Blank Man, because I watched you did an interview at Comic-Con. With the guy that was like, he's way too bulky. Like part of like the thing is he's very slender.
Right.
Oh, Madman.
Like, that's the kind of feedback like we were hoping 100%. To get doing this. Like that's awesome. You're taking live criticism, and when you bring something to somebody that's constructive, I always say it's less about what you say and more about how you say
How you
it.
say it. Be
Like,
constructive.
Absolutely.
you can come to
Yeah.
me with a problem, but if you're just going to grill me and like be a dick about it, I'm probably not going to listen to you. But if you come to me and be like, like most of the comics, he's kind of a slender guy, no? And you're like,
Yeah. That's a
I'll
good
make
point.
a note.
Yeah,
I'll make a
Wade
note.
made a really good comment on that, and immediately we got back and the people were like, "Oh, have you thought about doing a different face sculpt?" So now there's new head sculpts we're working on. So that's the fun part about bringing stuff out, right? And not that I have to listen to one person, and that one person is now the person that is going to say, "Oh, we're listening to one person, now we're going that direction." But
Sure.
you take that in, and you're like, you know what? They're not wrong. So let's try to make some of these changes before we actually, get this thing cut and then get it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's
I
nice
don't
to-
think
it's nice to
Madman
see
looks
the-
that muscular, but
it's nice to see that the smaller toy companies, they use that customer face as their benefit. Like, you stay in the good graces of the fans, one, by being accessible, but two, by listening.
And we can
You're
do
not
that.
you're not going to
that's
take
the
the
nice thing.
criticism as offensive. You're going to be like, okay, all right, that's an interesting
Right.
take. And the more I hear about it, the more I validate it, right? I mean, that's how.
Yeah, and that's
how
the
it
nice
works.
thing about being a smaller company. The larger companies, it's hard for them because of all the reasons that they are to pivot and navigate in that way,
Sure.
right? And that doesn't mean I don't like their product. I mean, you told me to maybe bring some cool things that we just got this week, and one of those things I was sitting over here is the Breaker figure that Classified put out, which I love, right? So so it's like I love that stuff. But one of the things I think that helps us stand out too is that we can get that constructive criticism. We have the ability to pivot, and that's what makes it fun.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, so you brought up the stuff to show. Mike, did you bring anything? Did you complete your homework assignment?
Oh, look, I've got a wife at home who, let's just say she's supportive of that I work for a toy company, but when I bring the toys home, look, I had 2 children hoping I could like have that be the excuse. Oh, these action figures are actually for them.
Right,
But
yeah.
they're too little, and so that doesn't go over too well. So
Shoot.
it's the classic, I gotta smuggle things across the border into my house or whatever. But I have a really big pile of loot right now, and at some point I will be taking it home with me. The latest stuff to hit is the Jada Street Fighter stuff. As soon as that stuff came out, it's like I called that, like, for me anyway, and obviously it's taken off for everyone else too, but I was like, this is like the line of the year. This could be like the line of the decade. This stuff, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That stuff, the price point, the color, the packaging, how it pops.
yes.
You don't even have to like Street Fighter. That stuff is so good. Like, Jada's just so good. They nail it with everything. So
June
I
is
have
just
a lot of Jada going on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, let's get into some pictures here. I figure we'll just go through stuff that you've done, stuff that's out, and then we can just move forward into past, future, present stuff.
Cool.
And again, as he does that, chat, I'll sit there and grab stuff as Mikey's bringing that up. Things like Jay the Toy Sorcerer asking, "What's behind the Forgotten King mask?"
Secrets.
Yeah, read the comic book.
Secrets. There's secrets behind that mask.
You can't know.
Yeah, Sean Rourke, who's the co-creator of Monster Force and does all the fiction for it, would be very mad at me if I.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. All right, so naughty or nice, I think pretty much everybody has had. They've obviously had ample opportunity to have these in their hands. This is something that people are really familiar with you guys, at least starting out in this scale, right? This was the first line.
Yeah, this was the Arlen has done an amazing job. He's the creator of this line, the sculptor of this line. I am fortunate that I've been able to help him produce it in partnership with him, and this was kind of our first foray into like the 1/12 scale. When this was, we've been making Naughty or Nice for 4 years now. Got a lot of Santa Clauses, a lot of Nutcrackers, a lot of elves, reindeer now, sleighs coming. Just got a sample of that the other day, and Arlen, he got the Mrs. Claus sculpted for Comic-Con to show. So we brought that out and showed that.
Fantastic.
And he's just amazing, man. That guy is so talented. And this line was fun because he came to me and was like, "Hey, I got an idea for a Santa Claus figure. Do you think it's going to work?" And I'm like, I think it'll work, and we should just do crazy Santa Claus stuff. He's like, we should, and I'm like, let's do it. And I'm like, is anyone going to care? I'm like, I don't know. Let's give it a shot. And we'll find out, right? And it was one of those things that, going back to a little bit of this, even the mantra we have sort of at workshop is like, bringing something out to people that they never knew they wanted, but once they see it, now they know they have to have it, right? So it's like like there was a gap for Santa action figures, and we were
apparently it was a large gap.
Yeah. Who knew, right? And we've seen other companies do really fun Christmas-like decos too on some of their other stuff, and we branched out to Halloween too. We did our Peter and Patch pumpkin is shipping now, so people can get it by Halloween, and it's just been a lot of fun. This line has just been a lot of fun, and more coming. I guess we want to do more stuff, and look. We've tried doing some things and it didn't work. Like this is a good example. Like Peter and Patch didn't make its funding goal originally. And Joel at Big Bad was like, I think we should make these happen. So that's how it happened, right? Like that's
really?
Yeah. So Joel was like, let's just make it happen and we'll get it out there. And so we did it, right? So that's great, right? That's one of the things for the fans, right? Going back to the fan question, like that's some of the stuff that we're doing now. I'm not gonna say we're doing it for everything, but he saw the opportunity there, and Arlen put so much love into this thing. And when you see them in person, they're just so fun. Like they're just really kind of fun little Halloween creatures. And so anyway, this line's just been a blast.
Yeah, the Barbarian Santa.
Oh yes,
is amazing. And then I'll tell you, okay, I got a gripe. So this is those hard hitting things, not a question, sir, but the F around and find out Santa then changed. Okay. To naughty or nice Santa. How dare you?
I know.
To me, it's F around and find out.
I wanted that name too. What we decided to change it.
There, that's where you become corporate, Bill. Okay, I get it.
Move, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't wait for an Easter Bunny version of this one.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Mall Santa's the best. Mall Santa's the best.
It's so trading places like Dan Aykroyd, where he's just sauced up, walking to the parking garage with the schnapps.
A turkey,
Oh my God.
My favorite part about this line, and I, you don't even, I guess, because I don't do it, I didn't think about it, but when you hear it, like, you think Christmas and you're like trees and ornaments and, decor and fireplaces and all this stuff, right? You got to bust out all this stuff, right? You get your stuff from out of the basement or the attic or whatever. People are taking this stuff out now, and it's like, oh man, they're making action figure dioramas and displays. Yeah. That's so cool. And it's like, now I got to start getting into that. That's my favorite thing that people are doing with this. Like, oh, it's time to take out the naughty or nice collection.
Yeah, it's seasonal. Cool. The seasonal thing is really fun. Like, I mean, even for me, for my collection, I've got seasonal Halloween stuff that comes out and Christmas stuff, and it's sort of this weird excuse to buy more action figures that you don't have to display, but then you kind of get permission to bring them out, like one time a year. And that's been really fun. I think the challenge on this line is that it is seasonal, right? So like we bring, but I've done a couple of shows where I brought, Santas to sell in July, and to be honest, people don't care about Santa in July. But we bring them out in the fall, and then people get really excited. Yeah. And so it is, and I, that's like, I'm sure anybody who sells seasonal items goes through that shift. But that's the one thing. But some things, we didn't get to make, like the 4-inch ones. We just didn't get enough orders to do that. We did the children last year. People didn't really, love it, but people like the Santa Tars. So we made the Santa, it's silly fun stuff too, that we're like, let's just try this. And
the nightmare fuel children,
right?
Which I'm not going to get any sleep tonight. It won't be because of this gorilla mine. It's because of these kids right here.
Right.
We actually got more reindeer in the warehouse right now. So those should, if anyone has pre-orders for those should be running hopefully soon. But there's a lot of stuff out there to run.
I hooked up the reindeer to the sleigh, like all of them. It's big. Like you put all those reindeer. I was like, I knew it was going to be big, but then you do it. You're like, you can put one reindeer, which is cool, but then you start stacking them all up. You're like, this is big, although it's awesome. So it's like, that's kind of a cool thing.
Is there a limit to how many reindeer you can stack? Is it limited to 8?
Yeah, we only have harnesses in there for that many. Although if you bought 2 sleighs, you can make it as big as you want. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. We don't have a moderator. I'll have to get this guy out of here. I'll ban him. Yeah, he's getting in through the Facebook. They're coming in through the
He's
cracks,
starting with
Mikey.
the vowels. It's
Yeah,
bad.
I'll handle that.
That's bad. And then I guess you guys got this line.
There's that thing.
Came out with this Wave 1 stuff.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty. It's all right, I guess.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Monster Force, Operation Monster Force has been great. Like we did. We're probably. I don't know if you guys are going to go over Eagle Force stuff here in terms of 4-inch stuff, but we've been doing Eagle Force for a long time, and we're over like 120 figures in that scale right now. And we started to bring in various other lines into that world. And Monster Force, even at 4-inch, was exciting in terms of what people were talking about and exciting to see. And then Joel and I at Big Bad started talking about like, hey, we want to kind of do some things here, in 6-inch. What does that look like? Would you like to do that? So we're like, yeah, let's take Operation Monster Force, because we think there's a lot to it that I think could be fun. And that turned into, the first big launch kind of workshop. And it was a labor of love. And again, it was one of these things where, we just wanted to kind of make it as good as it could be. And I think now that it's been out for a bit and people have them in hand, we sold out, pretty quick. So we did reruns as well now, which are now starting to ship, and another batch of them will ship soon, per what Mike said. And I just appreciate everybody's excitement. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody seems pretty excited about it, which is pretty awesome.
Our chat blew up because Mikey, we were doing like pre-prep. Was it Tuesday, Mikey? It was Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like the next day there was a restock. And then
it was perfect.
I shot a picture and showed it to Mikey. And then Blake?
Yeah, Blake hit us in
our
group.
Shot a picture. Or no, it was Quentin. Quentin did it. That's who it was.
Oh, yeah. It was
Quentin J. Bedwell. Chimichanga.
Yeah, so that was season 1 was obviously a hit. You guys sold out of almost everything.
Yeah.
I think you had one flavor of Sleepwalker that didn't sell out.
I think, Mike, what did we have? We had a couple things that, I don't know if did they all end up sending out? I can't remember, but they,
I think the Obsidian color took the longest, but he eventually went. But when we started planning reissues, which is a different conversation itself on whether or not we were going to reissue, but we looked at like core characters and whatnot, and wanted people to be able to access these, because once Wave 2 and Season 3, we call it season 0, Season 2, Season 3 start hitting, we don't want people to be left out and be like, oh, I really want Declan and now I can't get him,
Sure.
But we also don't want to be that company that's like, oh, this is available forever and you'll be able to get it, several years from now. So it is important to pre-order. It's important to, grab this second rerun, if you will, because once they're gone, I don't know that we're going to run this again. So we have, we just got the 2 Delta Reds and the Red Sleepwalker and Declan in, and then on the next with Season 0 and Season 2, we reissued all 8 again. So you're going to get more of those 4 characters plus the other 4 characters. So Dracula, Forgotten King, and the other 2 Sleepwalkers. So you'll have another chance to get Season 1 if you're new to the line, or if you're, got your hands on Season 2 or 0 and 3 and whatnot, and you want to go back and get Season 1. Now's going to be the time to grab them.
Nice. So Season 0 it seemed like it came after 1, but it wasn't quite 2, so you went with 0. Is that kind of how this happened?
It's one of those workshop things again, like, wait, why are there people in this from a season that happened before?
Yeah. So we a lot of the characters, and if you start looking at the storyline, the characters in 0 sort of take a place before Season 1. So you have like the Phantom Corps and all these other guys, and a lot of these characters that that sort of, we were like, okay, we kind of have this like prequel season here. Let's make it 0, and then as people are following the story, they can see kind of what happens with Season 0, and then 1, and then 2, and now 3, which is up for pre-order right now, Part 1.
Awesome. Yeah, this Season 0 stuff's super exciting.
I do want to mention that all heads are included. People, because we haven't showed them all, people are going like, hey, I haven't seen some of these heads. Is it still there? Yes, they're all still there. We just didn't have bodies to show all of them at the show, but they are all still there.
That's awesome. Yeah, the amount of accessories is always a big thing, right? I mean, like as customizers, we want as many accessories and swappable parts as we could ever get. So Yeah, four heads with this figure is pretty amazing, and the 4 that are selected are fantastic.
That's crawl weathers. That's straight up crawl weathers.
No, it's not.
That was
Carl
not
the weather man.
That was not the intent, but it sort of ended up that way. And you know, like all of those heads are, you know, they're not just like, hey, let's shove another head in there. You know, the storyline speaks to the Sentinels, which General Prown is a part of, and you know, they're all characters. So now he is the prominent one, but you might see, you know, General Frost, you know, come in and have some to play later. You know, so just so you know, like when we throw things like this in there, it's intentional. Like we're throwing things in there that are intentional, and those things may come back, and you know, you might learn about one of those generals later and go like, oh, that general did this, and that's a cool character. So when folks see that, I mean, obviously with army builders, you know, that we've got all of those things too. But when you see stuff like this, it's not just like, I guess we'll throw this head in. It's very intentional around the story.
It's part of the lore. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, they look fantastic.
Oh wow!
Oh, yeah, that's
I
from the show.
haven't seen this picture. That's great.
Yeah, that's from
fruit
Comic-Con.
salad is freaking insane. It looks so good.
Yeah.
So good. And some zombies. We're doing zombies.
We are doing zombies. Like, yeah, that again, I got to shout out Chris Scott here too, as well, as we talk about Monster Force. So Chris came in, you know, as we were sort of trying to figure out and bake season 1. And I was kind of struggling a little bit with like, okay, like I need some maybe help with some art direction. And I did not know Chris ahead of this time. And so I got introduced to him, and he just came in and just started really cranking through a lot of this art direction on a lot of this stuff. And at the same time, as we were doing this season 2, Gridiron came in, and Mark, you know, was like, hey, we'd love to maybe work with you guys and provide some. It was a really great synergy, I think, around. And I don't use that word lightly, but you know, it was a really great synergy around those two things kind of happening, which I think has resulted in some really, you know, awesome figures that I couldn't have done myself. And that's it too. Like, you know, as we look at a lot of these items, and we just talked about Naughty or Nice with Arlen, right? This is not a one-person show, right? This is a lot of collaboration between a lot of people, Mike included, art directors that come in, painters. Mikey, you've done some stuff for us already, and you know, you know, we'll probably cover some of that here. We'll show some of your work, and that speaks to how great, you know, you are and how much you're bringing to the table for some of these things. And so I always like to, you know, make sure we're mentioning all the great people that have their hands in this, because it's not just like, you know, Bill or Mike back here. It's a whole bunch of people behind us all coming together for the passion of making toys. And I think it really shows. And you know, again, Chris did a really great job with these figures, and he's going to do more stuff for us, which has been awesome. And I just want to make sure I shout him out.
And if you haven't got your World War Hell stuff off Kickstarter, go get it.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Definitely
Go support World War Hell, man. That thing is, Chris has done an awesome job with that.
Oh, the story building, the lore, everything that he's got in there.
Fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I mean, this is how I met Chris was through you guys. I saw these Paint Masters. You know,
nice.
2023, I think, at Joe Fest.
Yeah.
And him and I got started talking about painting and stuff, and then it wasn't long after that. It was like, you know, around 5 or 6 months later, he was asking me if I could help you paint some of the Santas, and I was like,
yeah.
And
yeah, you did an awesome job on the Santas and then the long box stuff. And yeah, I mean, again, like it's been awesome to be able to work with really creative people to help, you know, get these things out there. I think the product shows.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know he's good, because this camo is not easy.
No, and the factory did a really nice job, you know, taking that stuff and then, you know, bringing that through production. A lot of high level detail in the paint ops there, and so so we're doing zombies, more zombies, and again, it all goes back to story. Like most of this stuff, especially with Monster Force and a few of our other original IP lines, it's all about story. Like we're really heavy into lore. That's all Sean Rourke really coming up with different ideas of how these characters interact and how they're continuing to evolve and that type of thing.
Very cool. Yeah, it's not a haphazard thing. I mean, it shows there's a lore, there's a storyline that we're following with all these figures, and they look so good. I mean, they look so good.
And they're good. I mean, like, yeah, once you see them in person too. I mean, I'm glad those were production samples we had at San Diego. I think they came out really great.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. When I got to see them at Joe Fest, I was
here. Yo, Joe Jerk over here, Papa Jerk.
Thank you.
Bill, Mike, Monster Force is awesome. Very happy.
Oh,
Well, it's because of this guy, and that's why I want to do a little quick segue. Is he had one of those sleepwalkers when I went to go visit him, and I was like, he's like, "Oh yeah, check this out." I'm like, "Oh, son of a bitch, these like, joints are butter, man." Oh, and then that guy cost me some money, so thanks, Jerk.
Thanks a lot, you jerk.
Well, the sleepwalkers are fun too because we put them out, we put the images out. They show all these bits and bobs and doodads and stuff, and it was really people kind of didn't know like what does that look like, and then they get the figures, and then they started putting together all these really sweet configurations.
Yeah.
And the awesome story about that was, I don't remember if it was at a show or where it was, but like somebody attached a gun to the backpack, and I was like, I didn't even know it worked that way. That's awesome. Like, so they're like, so we're finding out even from fans as they're building stuff. I'm like going, I wasn't made to do that, but sure enough, it works. And like, so that's really great too. So when people are posting photos and I appreciate everybody that posts their images online and the stuff even if it's customs or even just their own collection, because we find out about cool stuff like that we didn't even intend. So that was pretty
cool. Yeah. Shout out to the Collector and Customs group on Facebook. Those guys.
Oh, that's such a great group.
Creative bunch of dudes that and they are posting the coolest stuff. And I was like, man, so thoughtful. So I love that. Love seeing that stuff. So
absolutely.
Thanks to everybody who's been collecting and standing behind the line.
For sure. Yeah, well put. So yeah, accessory sets. I did see somebody mention something in the comments about accessory sets, and obviously that's in your minds.
Yeah. I've got some right in front of me too. You won't be able to see them with my stupid background, but yeah, they're here too.
Hang on. I got them.
They're here too. They're right here.
There we go.
Big bad glare on my computer.
Big bad glare.
Big bad glare. But yeah,
big bad glare.
Yeah, but yeah, they're here as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what Trey was asking about. Yeah, customizer kit basher will gear sets and weapon packs be a thing moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, and that was Gridiron too. Like they had that weapon that comes with that set was something they had on their site, and they decommissioned it because sometimes they do that. And Mark was like, maybe we'll bring it into Monster Force, and this would be the next evolution of that weapon that folks can get in the gear pack. So that was really fun too. That was kind of his idea, and I was like, that makes sense. Let's do that. So even though our stuff is factory produced and his stuff is 3D printed, the designs are the same, and hopefully and we're trying to make the quality as good as possible. But that was a fun thing where Mark was like, hey, we sort of archive this thing, and maybe we can bring it back through, instead of us bringing it back through their store, we brought it back through the accessory sets.
Mark, Volcano Gridiron Studios.
Yes. Yeah.
And then TC was asking dismemberment bags. Oh,
that could be interesting.
Look, there are people under this roof who really want blood and guts, whether it's in this line or another one. So don't be surprised if you see it someday.
Yeah.
Nice. So then we've got season 2, right?
Oh yeah, we've got Dave's Halloween Boy. So Dave Baker, if you guys don't know, created Halloween Boy, and you can see his graphic novel there. Dave and I go way back, and as I was looking at the line again, going back to sort of this creative and collaboration thing, I talked about it a little bit with Mike, even working with you and Chris and stuff. I was a big fan of Dave's book. And I was like, I think we can make this into a figure, Dave, if you want. And we can also maybe introduce, folks into the world of Halloween Boy by doing this. And that to me is exciting because, like, at the end of the day, as much as I love the stuff I'm doing, I actually love other people's stuff more than my stuff. So anytime I can shout out to other people's collections or things that they're making, like that just makes me so happy, because I love the fact that people are putting energy to create awesome things. That to me is like one of my favorite things. And if I can do a little bit to point someone in the direction of a thing that they haven't seen yet or haven't heard of yet, that even I like, that makes me really happy. And Dave is an awesome creator. I think he's on issue 7 of his books, and they're like prestige format. So we were super excited to have Dave allow us to put Halloween Boy, in the line.
He looks so fun.
And also brought a little bit of fun color to the line too, I think, which was, as I think cool as a color palette is that we have for a lot of things. This was like, let's just throw like this bright orange, character in there and kind of mix it up. And people really responded to it, which was really awesome.
Yeah. It grabbed my attention right off the bat. I mean, I pre-ordered it pretty damn quick. I was like, oh man, he's all orange. That's awesome. Like, yeah, he's going to stand out like a sore thumb. Well,
yeah.
Until the soldiers of fortune come in, and then he's going to blend in a little bit.
I think he's more vermilion than orange. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Donner Party.
Oh, Donner Party. This figure has been one of our most anticipated. I think just people. This was sort of our. I mean, we have Frankenstein within our lore. I'll just say that, and he's going to show up in different ways. But this was sort of our way of going, like, we want to do a original Frankenstein like creature. And so Sean had this really great idea to do the Donner Party, and this came together also like design wise through a lot of collaboration, where like the first designs I did for this did not look anywhere this cool, and then through working with Chris and Adrian, our sculpting supervisor too, like we came up with this like character that had these different type of like parts of their costume from different eras, because the character's a few hundred years old. So it ended up I think coming out really great, and I'm excited about the fact that folks think this is cool, and we got some soft goods in there, which I always think is kind of fun.
That was the coolest thing I thought about the Kurgan. I just watched some scenes from Highlander again. I just love the evolution of him being in full armor, and then in the 80s, then he's got pieces of his chainmail still on.
Yeah. So this was and the figure came out really good too. I think you can see there. It looks really fun. Yeah.
Got the right amount of grit. Very very dirty, but not overly done. It looks fantastic. They did a great job.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Oh, Blackwatch agents. Yeah, those are fun too. You need a figure with the suit. There you go, and you can turn him into its own demon. There you are. So that again, coming up with the lore was all Sean figuring out like, how do we bring something new into something that could potentially be kind of vanilla in terms of a guy in a suit, and then how do we bring this Blackwatch stuff in here, and with this is I think where we started to think about like, how do we do like interchangeable necks and stuff? Like, how do we not just have heads, but have a neck that could come in and you could actually change the dynamic of the character?
Which is kind of what Stu is asking a little bit here about. Are the figures well articulated? Do the joints move smoothly like butter? I said that earlier, by the way. How do the heads pop on and are off?
Yeah,
wave one's easy breezy.
Yeah, the necks pop out and the heads pop out, and you can swap them around, and you may have to use a little bit of heat. I'm just going to say, like, sometimes it helps to warm them up. I think most folks who are collecting this type of figure kind of sometimes know that sometimes it's good to, depending on the temperature you're climbing or in, it's sometimes good to heat up some of the stuff before you pop it off. But we're trying to make it as smooth as possible.
I have not had to do that yet.
Okay, good.
No. Yeah, that looks awesome.
Yeah, we did an accessory pack for these guys too, with different heads and demon heads and stuff, and Blackwatch heads too, so you can create your little Blackwatch army.
Very cool. Delta Red Nightshade.
Yeah, this was part of our 25th anniversary, right? For Big Bad, we did this one, right? That was the idea.
Yeah. So last October we did a big campaign for our 25th anniversary, and basically reached out to Figure Fight Club. Reached out to a bunch of our vendors and partners and manufacturers and whatnot, and as part of that, Bill was able to throw together this cool story-driven Nightshade with kind of an exclusive Declan head, I'd say. You can't really, I don't think you can get this one anywhere else. Is that right?
No, that's got the paint apps
Yep.
through there, and Sean and I kind of did a fun little YouTube around it where we got one of our artists, Dana Black, to do some storyboards, and we walked through kind of the storyline about Operation Nightshade and why it exists and that kind of thing. And we think we're going to do more of kind of that stuff.
That's awesome. I love that. That's really cool. He looks great. Lieutenant Griffin.
Ah, yes.
Some of us have a variation of this figure in our midst, and we're happy about it. So
yeah, there he is. Mike's got him up there. And that's one of the things we've been doing too, is we've been doing kind of clear versions before the figure. We did this with Dracula and Forgotten King too, but we kind of put out the clear versions first, and then other versions come out later. And it gives some people to get in their hands a little bit. Hopefully, gets them excited about what's to come. And Lieutenant Griffin is got a lot of stuff. Clear arms and hands, and maybe too many hands. But I like the ability to post stuff. I feel like, especially with we've got some folks taking some great photography.
Look at that.
Like a bag of Skittles almost, right?
It's like a bag of clear stuff over there.
Yeah, it's like a bouquet of translucency.
Yeah. And more to come on those too. Like
rumor has it there might be one more for the end of the year here. So
shit.
We'll see.
Oh boy.
There's a story behind every color, so
I'm
not sure the story's complete yet.
Well, I will say this then. Let's segue. I know he asked this earlier. Jay the Toy Sorcerer said, out of curiosity, is there a Operation Monster Force exclusive or Legions?
I mean, it's our only convention left for the rest of the year, so the stars might align that way. I guess we'll.
So a strong maybe.
We'll know soon enough, right?
All right.
Go to Legions Con.
See, they say you're announcing too much stuff, but then they want more, right? It's that. What do? You give them more. You let them eat a little bit.
Yeah. Yep.
I love this one, and the Cryptek like camo on this.
Yeah,
one, I think just
it came out really good.
Cool.
It came out good. Yeah.
So
nice. A lot of folks at San Diego, got to see that in person, and I think we had a Joe Fex too, actually, and they were like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Yeah, I know, right? Like, it looks pretty good." Like, I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah,
very cool. I love that one. Again, pre-ordered him pretty quick. Him and Halloween Boy were immediate. I was like, yeah, I got to have those for sure. And with him being the Invisible Man, I'm a huge League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Man, so having the Invisible Man, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Well, if they don't do it, maybe I'll just compile my own league.
Right? Absolutely. Please do that. Also, make some cool. Please make cool Monster Force customs, because man,
I just had to write down Candy Apple Donner Party because that was great.
Mike's making notes.
You like that, Eric? There,
collectors. Yes, absolutely. That's fantastic.
It's very good.
Edible? No. That's pushing it.
More sleepwalk.
You went too far. Bring it back.
We had to have jetpacks. That's all I'll say. Jetpacks were important. It's important that you have jetpacks. It's important that there's werewolves that fly around with jetpacks. I mean, that's just important. I think
enough said.
I don't know what else to say other than that.
What do you need to say? That's it.
Yeah,
werewolves, jetpacks. Move on.
Right.
And we will.
Yeah, Brain Guy. Shout out to Mad Hatter. I loved as he was going through San Diego Comic-Con and learned after almost the entire time as he's like, Brain Guy, Chairhead, and we got Wolf Guy over here, and then he notices, oh, hey, their names are on
the stands right in front of the screen. Yeah, it's right there.
Because I would have talked to him. Darn it, I don't think I was around when that happened.
That was so good.
This is one of the early renders too. So you look at this and you're like, oh man, all these things come with loaded accessories. This one actually comes with more than what is shown.
Yeah, well, this is a good example, right? Where we put this out and people were like, yeah, it's cool. He's got a brain in a jar. He's got a gun. But man, can he come with more stuff? And so we've now added, and we got to update the listing. We've added a case that opens up, and you can take out his Sleepwalker serum and stuff like that. So that'll be included in the figure as well. We need to. Mike reminded me actually yesterday to update the listing, which I haven't done yet. So I'm going to write that down right now and make a note. I don't want Mike to be mad at me. But yeah, so this isn't, again, going back to, we made some changes and added some more stuff in here because we heard back from the fans, and we're like, okay, let's see if we can augment this guy a little bit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, you can kind of see like in the updated glamour shots of on the website listing, you can see kind of how he's working with the within the briefcase a little bit. So
okay. Yeah, they look,
and it's kind of laying on the ground right there on the display case there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And those canisters open up then, and they're there's not ooze in them or anything, but you know there's a pull apart piece in there.
That's awesome.
Is that the one that looks kind of like the thing from The Rock with Sean?
Yeah, when it comes out, it's like So it'll be clear green in there, and that's a Sleepwalker gas essentially that he has, that he controls all the Sleepwalkers with. Oh yeah, we talked about this. The Black Watch head pack, we did that. Yeah.
Here's another accessory pack here, guys. Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, Menyoza was asking, can I ask if all the heads fit on all the bodies?
Yeah. So that's the idea. All the stuff, not only for within Operation Monster Force, but as we get into other lines as well, they're all made to be, customizable and compatible. So if I don't know if we're going to get into NPC at all. We showed there, all this stuff kind of reworks with that too. So, again, I come from a customizer's background, though it's been a while since I picked up a brush. That's one of the reasons I got into toys way back when, and I like the idea of being able to kind of swap and make your own kind of thing and put your own kind of stuff together.
This is like my Dracula being demoted figure.
Here, let's see that. Oh no, Dracula.
Yeah, he's like, what am I doing? How did I? Yeah. It's all swappable. Super.
Do better, Dracula.
Do better.
Yeah,
Do better.
What's wrong with you, man?
Do better.
And I'll say there's a bunch of Monster Force questions, which I thought there might be. One of them.
Those, Dak, I'm gonna step away for a second. So
Roger that.
Right.
You got time. Gun Bunny and I'm going to say Suka both were asking about vehicles possible and play sets from Gun Bunny.
I think it's certainly possible. I think we're definitely looking into play sets and different accessory themed stuff as something that we've sculpted a few things already, trying to figure out the best way to kind of get it out to augment dioramas. There's one of the things that Gridiron is doing vehicles as well, and a lot of his vehicles are going to start to, as we get into more of our partnership with them, they're going to start to do things that are themed a little bit with Monster Force and can work with Monster Force stuff. So
that'd be cool.
Mark's excited about offering kind of Gridiron vehicle stuff. He's doing a really great job with the vehicles, I think, for what he's doing.
We'll find out when I get this shadow phalanx.
Oh man, it's great. We had that at Joe. I don't know, Mikey. Did you see it?
It looked awesome. Oh yeah, man. I saw it. Yeah, it looked awesome.
That freaking thing is great.
Dan, I'm playing the role keeper on that
basically is the kind of like the tie-in to the Operation Monster Force stuff. So when you think Shadow, that's kind of where that comes from.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then I think this was actually TC was like, I like the option to buy a wave. It makes it easier to not miss a figure. The naming on them is a bit long. Is there any chance on easier prefixes for future waves? I think you kind of touched on that a little bit, Mike, when you were talking about how you've labeled the figures.
Yeah, there's seasons. I mean, as far as Operation Monster Force, I don't think we're going to change the name of it, for trademark reasons and other things. I don't think we're going to, we can't really shorten that. But, as far as the actual names of the characters, sometimes they go a little long depending on what faction they're a part of. You may get 4 or 5 words in there depending on, whatever faction they're in the middle of.
And my God, there were several here. I think though, Eric was asking the best movie version of the Deep Ones, Monster Squad. Are you planning on doing a variation on the creature from Black Lagoon?
Oh, interesting. Would people like to see a creature?
That would be pretty sick.
I would like to see.
That's my favorite Universal monster.
I would like to see a creature. I don't know if I have any influence on the line at all, but
just make a note and see if you can bring it up to the board or something.
I mean, I can ask the committee if that's what one of the monsters they want to do next might be.
That kind of leads into what Tristan was saying. Like he brought up, are you able to do, figures like that, like Jack the Ripper, Rasputin, Attila the Hun?
Oh, there's a couple of those we talked about earlier this week, Zach.
I know, I saw that. I was like, Rasputin. And then Aleister Crowley too.
Yeah, I mean, we can do any of that stuff, if it's either in public domain or things like that are out there that are not tied to someone's estate, depending on whether it's a fictional thing or whether it's a real person. We'll see a little bit of those. We teased out Raven Society at San Diego. And so if that's kind of the thing you like, you'll be into Raven Society because you'll see a lot of that kind of start to creep in to that as well.
We definitely have that in the slides coming, so we definitely want to talk about it.
Yeah, we had a lot of slides. I'm sorry, I'm murdering time. We're an hour in.
All right, where's an hour? It's fine for me. It's great. I'm on the West Coast. It's
you're golden. You're golden.
I'm going to be like gremlins all over, so I got to make sure they don't get wet or fed or whatever you got to do after midnight.
Now Mike's already at work, so if we run long,
I'm just putting a sleeping bag on the floor and I'll start.
I'll just sleep tomorrow in the office.
Yeah, I'll sleep all night. No problem.
Got a con.
Fine state of Wisconsin. Yep.
So season 3, Mr. Legacy. What is
Mr. Legacy is great. So Mr. Legacy, so interesting. So for those who don't know, like Sean and I created a comic book called The Midnight Men. And you can, if you go to Fresh Monkey, you can download you can get the digital version of the comic. This was a character we pulled out of that because they're all taking place in the same world. That Midnight Men is taking place during World War II. Obviously, Mr. Legacy is a character that's been alive a long time, and we moved him into Monster Force. He's pretty much like, the strategist, he's been around for a long time. He is, he's not going to pick up a machine gun. That's not the character this character is, but he, definitely has done a lot of reading, knows a lot about monsters and histories and different things like that. And that's sort of his role as he plays in Monster Force. Okay. I will say this, make sure you buy this figure and then I will move on.
Oh shit. Okay.
So what the hell's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, I gotta pull up Big Bad Toy Store real quick.
I'm just gonna say, like, as the story and the seasons evolve, right? I was talking about earlier, as you see like heads show up or characters, whatever show up, characters in Monsters will evolve, right? Well, you'll learn about them, and then they'll go through some sort of change, whether it's, again, adding more generals to the thing, or ahead we might put in like a character, like for example, if you look at maybe we'll cover it too. If you look at our con exclusive this year, you have like a Lieutenant Raven head. You're going to find a lot more about Lieutenant Raven here in the future, right? He was part of Declan's original squad. He got turned by the Forgotten King, but he's going to be coming back. So like there's we're planting these Easter eggs and these seeds in this line. So Mr. Legacy is going to have a very big role to play if you're into lore and into stuff like that. So I'm just going to throw that out there, as he'll have a big role to play as we get into, probably, closer to, season 5 or something like that. So it's a little bit out, but like, just so you know, a lot of these characters, again, you might see other versions of Dracula, right? Another, in armor and all these things. They'll evolve through the line as the story progresses. I'll put it.
Armor Dracula confirmed. Got it. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's on the list, man. It's Bart Sears did some awesome designs for Armor Dracula for us that we are going to be sculpting soon.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Bart Sears. Chad,
man.
Anyone who doesn't know who Bart Sears is, oh my God, Brute and Babe is one of the best things I've ever had in my hands.
Yeah, so it's so he did some really cool. So
he
that's
also
on
loves his wife. Zach, say it. Say your thing.
I love my wife.
There it is. Okay. Bingo card.
Here we go. Now shout out to Mark Volcanon. Even if I didn't, not knowing who Mark is, this figure's awesome.
It's a great looking figure.
I don't even have a figure with my head on it. I'll put it that way. That's but I thought it would be really fun, given what Gridiron is doing, which is making really cool weapons for, all of us who love to collect action figures. I thought it would be great for Commander Gridiron to also make weapons to outfit, Monster Force. So that's kind of where this whole idea came from. And Mark has been a great partner for us with weapons and other things. And Mike, you got to talk to Mark for the first time at the show, and you guys hit it off, really big.
Yeah, and him, Mark providing that APC down at Joe Fest, it helped make our booth, that corner. We had a small booth; it was a 10 by 10 or whatever, but that diorama just filled and all the action on it. It was so cool. And then, I called Mark for the first time, and we've connected over email, but like he's like, oh, give me a call and I'll tell you how to like put the parts on this thing. And it was like, it was really easy to talk to him. And then he showed up at Comic-Con, and it's like, it's like you've known each other forever. It's one of those relationships. And so, seeing this figure, being able to allow his company to, have these for his fan base too, which is, a whole group that's entering our world now, and we're kind of entering theirs. So it's really great collaboration. And he was super excited to see this, and obviously the new figure that we're probably going to get to at some point here.
Yep. Yeah, he looks.
Yeah,
he looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I like so good.
I already got a figure because I'm an eraser, done.
That's true. Yeah, you're already taken care of.
Yep. 13 Ghosts. Yeah. So we're getting into the 13 Ghosts, which is sort of a original creation that we brought into the line, where you have essentially these characters that have these masks that contain the spirit of these 13 ghosts, these Japanese warriors. And so when they're attached to someone's head, they take over their body, and all of their abilities kind of come with them. So we have 13 of them planned. There's a lot. And this wave, I think we've got 2, and we showed the Fog, I think, at San Diego as well. So, and they each have different abilities. The Goblin specializes in making booby traps and those kind of things. So that's what he comes with. A bear cage that's like bear trap, but it's like a it looks kind of like a dragon kind of thing, and these little smoke bombs and stuff like that. So I think that the story is interesting because it's, I love this idea that like this character could be like damaged and like dying, and like he stumbles into a park and he just takes his mask off and puts it on the guy next to him. And then his body dies, but then he possesses this guy next to him in the park, and then he runs away. It's like, I like this idea of these like masks that can possess sort of their, individuals. And then that, those powers kind of come through the masks and who they're a part of.
Cursed items. Yeah, I can tell that, I can see why Chris is such a big fan. Like everything in World War Hell is cursed.
It's all cursed. Right. Yeah. So this was another one we did, the Red Demon, and
this is dope.
You'll find out that too, like the Red Demon, for example, he actually works with Operation Monster Force, so he's on the side of good, but you have like the Goblin and the Fog who are on the side of evil. So there's a story that's going on there that will connect to a line called The Blade Cuts Both Ways, which we did do in 4-inch already. So there's storylines that will connect as part of the larger lore here as we continue to augment not only Monster Force, but Operation Monster Force, but also these other lines that we're kind of bringing in.
Super cool.
Jersey's complaining there's not enough hands. I think he meant
not enough hands. We don't do enough. We don't do enough hands. We need more hands.
More hands.
Smart ass.
More hands. More hands.
So Mikey, from a customizer standpoint, you said you guys like these accessories. There's also that whole community in Jersey, might be one where you've got like the Rubbermaid tote of stuff, and that's just where you dump all your extras in. Do you have that type of thing going on, or you just, yeah, okay, all right, gotcha. That's really organized.
I'm so proud.
He was doing this with Tony. Yeah. Like Mikey was busting out like everything of all the greebles he has, and this goes here, and these hands go here,
so
and
impressive.
these heads go here.
That's all.
That thing. Oh wow! Look at that thing, man.
Okay, yeah.
That is,
perfect.
I'm impressed with that organization, man. That's that's amazing. That's amazing. I don't even know how to do that.
Go hard in the paint on.
Yeah, that's
hard
this is
in the
technically
paint.
a job. I mean, this is
it is absolutely, which is why I don't do it. Which is why my office looks like a hot mess all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a little bit of both. I mean, I like the extra accessories because one, it lets me build that character however I want, but then it also lends to me creating something new, or me, fitting a character that didn't come with certain parts, or
totally.
Or not having to paint, like you can swap colored like black gloves instead of, bare hands or something like that. And then you don't have to paint. And that's always nice too.
Sure. Awesome.
Oh, the ambassador.
Now here's Jacob. I'm waiting for Jacob here. I'm waiting for the delay and have Jacob go off about how awesome this is.
Yeah, we had to do kind of a Cthulhu type thing, and that's where the ambassador comes from. And then we wanted to give him some different heads so you could display him different ways. Yeah, so it's again, we got to do some monsters. So there you go. I think someone asked earlier in one of the chats, like, are we going to do any female monsters? Absolutely. Like, we've shown a few female characters, but monsters will be coming as well, vampires and so forth.
Very awesome. Any chance of a larger size Cthulhu-esque character?
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. I think Chatsworth is a good example of our first kind of larger size character, and that went over really well. And so we're looking at doing more of that. I think I was a little hesitant because of price point. I got to be honest. Like,
sure,
we're really trying to keep these things at what we feel is a good value. And as you get into bigger stuff, it just costs more to make. And but it went over well, and people seemed to, with that and with the Kiloworg that we did with Fury Planet, like, people seem to be okay with it. And that was like a sigh of relief, because I was like worried, like, are people going to buy these big monsters? Because they're not $40. And right. They do. And that's great. And that's exciting. And it means it bodes well for us doing more of that type of stuff.
That's awesome.
The guy with the Cthulhu avatar over here is excited about it. And
look at that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right. Yeah,
that's strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could have said, he's pretty particular. He wants his Cthulhu to be just right. Some people are persnickety.
Right.
Yeah, you.
But Jacob's like, well, whatever Cthulhu walks in there.
Whatever I get, okay? If somebody's going to make it, I got to show it love. I will say the paint master for this one blows the render out of the water. This paint master.
Oh, yeah. It came out really good.
Amazing.
It came out really good.
Who did the paint master on?
I think Steve did the paint master on that one. One of our guys, Steve, that does some paint for us. Yeah, he did a nice job on that and that head. It looked really great. He also painted our. We showed some Rocketeer statues that we're doing that we brought to Comic-Con, and he did those as well.
They looked great too.
Oh, Dr. Rand. This is Dr. Rand. Got some extra heads here. He turns into a werewolf. This, similar, he contains this case here with some of these serums and stuff that he's working on to change everybody into werewolves.
So that other case is similar to this one? Or
Yep. Okay. It's black, and it just has green things on it versus blue. So
that's a great accessory piece, especially.
Yeah.
Jack and I know lots of guys that do, dioramas and play motion and that kind of stuff. And that's the kind of stuff they always want is the little accessories. And stuff.
Oh yeah, the stop motion guys too, or stop motion Zach who works Big Bad, who did this awesome stop motion that came out this week. I don't know if you guys saw it or not.
That was amazing.
But shout out to Zach for coming up with the idea and then executing on it. That thing is so fun.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, looks great.
Yeah, the sarin gas is the cherry on top.
There we go. Oh, and we have portrait pack that we did as part of if you ordered the whole set, right, Mike? That's what we did, and you get that.
Yep. So it's kind of hiding in the listing, but if you scroll through the images on the site, if you pre-order that set, that's a kind of like a freebie, similar to how we're doing a throw-in figure with the Soldiers of Fortune.
Yeah, Roger that. Yeah, I took a second because I was like, who's the ambassador? Wait, where's that picture of H.P. Lovecraft? Okay, got it. All right. Because a lot of people are really distinguished. It's really easy in my head to, Edgar Allan Poe that we'll talk about later. It's like, that's easy for me. I'm like, that guy looks familiar.
Right. Oh, we did Bigfoot. So Chatsworth's got an interesting story. So Chatsworth was something that we had envisioned very early on. And we were going to work with Memory Toys using their War Bear figure to do Chatsworth. We worked with them. We made a prototype for it. Chris did it. We showed it at the show. We got good responses to it. But we decided kind of like, you know what? We should just do our own version. That version, although, is a really great figure, and those guys were really great. It was also kind of ended up being too big. We wanted something that was big, but not massively huge, and that version was too big. So we decided,
that one you guys had at Joe Fest a couple years back, he was absolutely massive.
Yeah,
that figure was every bit of 10, 11 inches tall.
Yeah,
he was
huge. It was huge, right? So and again, it would have worked out great, but we kind of felt like we really wanted to do our own version. And at that time too, we weren't unsure kind of like how popular the line was going to be. Like I said earlier, are people going to want to buy these, higher end things? And obviously season 1 came out and it did well. And so we're like, okay, we'll go ahead and do our own version. And the characters evolved obviously to, he eats donuts and he's got a really fun story. And, it's Chatsworth is this lovable Bigfoot that we have that just carries a giant machine gun, and his favorite show is Lorenzo Lamas's Renegade from the, from the 90s. So it's those kind of things, right, that we're adding. And this is all Sean adding all these really great fun elements to it that I think, augment what is really cool design, but also kind of go like, okay, that's kind of fun. He walks around eating donuts and firing a giant machine gun, right?
What's better than that?
Right. And and a lot of these things, I'm going to give a shout out to Larry Hama, who, again, like I said, is going to be working with us on Cops and Crooks. But, a lot of these things, we were all big fans of G.I. Joe and the comics that Larry did. And Larry, I think, did a really great job to infuse a lot of really interesting characteristics with the toys we grew up with. And so we took that and, that's always kind of in the background of things that we want to do, where, we want to have great design, but we also want to come up with some really great, characters that tell their own story and are very unique and have personality to them.
Absolutely.
Another render update too. He does include both sets of bullets on his chest. So.
Oh, very cool. So
the render only shows the one. Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Is that Bill's fault too, Mike? Is that what you're doing? Are you throwing him under the bus?
It's just a timing thing, really. I mean, it's kind of it really goes back to the whole, this came out early, and then the production stuff. Things change, things evolve.
Well, and then you said like feedback, right? Where you're talking to people and they're like, "Hey, is that all he comes with? Maybe you should add this." And you're like, "That's fair.
Sure.
We can put that into the budget."
Yeah.
I think that's a great scale right there. That's
that's because that other one was going to be way too big, and I just and it was awesome, and I love. Loose Collector is doing an awesome Bigfoot, right? They're doing a really great Bigfoot. I love their stuff that they make, but it's massively huge, and that's cool. Like that's what that is, and that's great. But given the storyline and what we're doing with the character, we were like, he's got to be he's going to be bigger, but we don't want him to be too massive. So that's kind of decided to kind of do our own version of that.
This one, some of the chat will get this, but this one's comparable to the size of a, like a big hairy Russian woman.
Right.
Jeez. I can't wait for those Dry Creek, bed dioramas to be popping up, right?
Tony, get on it now because it's coming. Okay, he's not that far off.
Where's your prop?
Huh?
Where's your prop? Where you just hold, is it out of reach?
And I honestly don't know.
Don't know where the. Damn it, Mikey!
I've misplaced it.
If you know, on the whole dry.
Yeah, I know. And when it comes to toy stuff, it is. But if it's props and goofy stuff, it can be anywhere. So, ladies, got some really, really.
We're doing some ladies, right? So we showed some of early looks at some of our sculpts at Joe Fest. Agent Harker being one. Red Riding Hood. We showed some sculpts online the other day.
Man, this is awesome.
And we actually saw some pictures that I got Miranda Seek. So definitely coming in and doing the ladies for sure. So that's a big push for us. We got some help from Gentle Giant doing some of the sculpts, and then Dan Mitchell came in to help us out with these, and then we've got a few other folks that are kind of helping us out with them too. And we definitely needed to bring some females into the line, and we're super excited.
Frail females. These ladies look like they could do some damage.
Yeah, they're there to kick some ass and do some things, and so we got a good response at the show, which was really great. Like we were wanting to see what people thought of the figures, and we got some really good feedback on it, which was great.
Oh,
They look
and
fantastic.
Dan Rollkeeper, he's doing. I won't even say this is a low key flex. That's just a flex. Period.
That's just a flex. That's a
He
regular
thinks
flex.
it actually probably is more, that he's got 36 total Monster
Oh.
Force figures. Any chance
you.
for some female vampires?
Absolutely. Welcome to Monster Force Season 4.
Confirmed.
Done.
If you like female vampires, you will like Season 4.
Well, they suck, but
Yeah. Oh.
okay, right here. Holy shit! I need this. I need Red Riding Hood.
She kicks ass for the Lord.
I need
For the
Joan of
Lord.
Arc.
For the Lord.
For the Lord, whatever. Yeah.
For the Lord. This is all Sean. Sean wrote this really great character of the Order, and then actually Joan of Arc, and so it's and again going to like, well, we need nuns that have machine guns and kick ass, and so this was where that came from. And so it again, Dan Mitchell sculpting this, it looks really great, and we got some great feedback on this thing. Like Mike, I mean, when we showed it at where was it, Joe Fest, we got some good feedback on it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Battle Nun, Ariala. I can't remember that old comic book. I know Drew.
Oh yeah.
That. Is that what it is? Was it Ariala or
I
something?
think so.
Like that?
Yeah.
I would say Areola. I know that's not it.
That's not it. That's
I don't
not
know
it.
I don't know if that's it.
I don't think that's it.
That might not be it.
This one's awesome. I mean,
There we go.
Sister
TC's
Sarah's
got
gonna
it.
get her own 2 mules here. This is
Sister Sarah. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I love.
But yeah, definitely
love
an
these
army builder there for sure.
So much cool stuff right there.
We're doing a lot, and and I know people are like, oh my god, there's a lot of things we're doing, the whole thing, but with the way manufacturing works and the timelines that we have, we want to, while the factory's doing one thing, we want to be doing something else, right? So we want to be shifting things through a production pipeline. I don't know if ever anybody does do anything, either manufacturing or things with development pipelines, but you're doing different things at once, right? So it's like one does not stop the other thing from happening, right?
Right.
So you're why this is going on here, you're working on this over here. So that's why you'll see us like doing lots of different things, because stuff's happening all across the board. Stuff's getting painted, so it's not like one person's like in a box doing, I can't wait to get the paint, and I'm doing the paint. We got multiple people working at different levels, right? So that's why you'll see a lot of different things happening at once.
I think that's what Dave Lane's here with so many big and small figure lines competing for collectors' dollars. How do you determine how many figures to release per season wave? Putting too much out at once,
right.
Concern. That's kind of what you're touching on there.
Yeah, too. And we want it to be story driven. So we try to, we broke up. There's a big story for season 3. So we broke it up into 2 parts. So you have we're not going to release 10 figures as part of season 3. So we're trying to stick with 4 to 6 figures per wave now, maybe even smaller. We're talking about maybe even doing like mini seasons where it's like a little mini story with 1 or 2 characters in it,
like a side quest,
kind of thing.
There we
go.
Yeah.
Now you're talking Zach's language. Now he understands.
D&D. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
Sean will be very happy to hear that. Yes.
And then real quick, did we get Justin Booth? It's not started anymore. We lost it. That gifted membership. I want to say it was Justin Booth earlier. I think I missed that, Mikey.
Justin Booth did.
Justin Booth, thank you very much, man. For whatever reason, it didn't start itself. I'm going to blame StreamYard, not my old man.
StreamYard, how dare you?
Damn it.
JB, appreciate you for the new member. This is for you.
Holy underwear! Yeah!
Thank you!
It is my privilege to extend a laurel and hearty handshake to our new members.
This one's for you.
Thank you very much.
You very much.
And then Jersey Maniac for $1.99. Please don't make me wait long for Battle Nuns.
We're trying.
So then, what kind of timeline? What are we thinking?
We're trying. Again, these are kind of very early as we're figuring it out. So again, we're going to be holding off on solicitations for a while until we get these into production. But they're not in tooling yet, so it's gonna be a bit.
This was another one, Bill, where you're like trying to gauge where people like the excitement, and you're like,
yeah, and also like anything, like get some feedback along with it. I don't think we thought that Battle Nuns would be as exciting to people.
How would you know that?
In a monster line?
cool.
Yeah,
Well, I know, dude. It's on me, really.
Move that up to the front of the line. Let's get that going as soon as possible.
At the end of the day, I'm just like, I obviously don't have the finger on the pulse, really. At the end of the day, so it's
come on.
That's why you're doing the convention,
right?
Okay,
do better.
Do 100% do better. That's what I need a shirt to wear to shows that says "do better." I think that's going to be my new. I'm not going to wear monster. I'm not going to wear monster first shorts. I'm just going to say "do better," and I'm just going to walk around the show in a "do better" shirt.
Yes,
I think that's
Dan.
yeah.
And with
Jersey,
the nuns, yep. Sally Field with a jetpack, maybe, maybe.
Amazing.
Jersey,
Thanks, Jersey,
for you, buddy.
Big ass titties.
I swear by my pretty floor bonnet, I will.
Thank you.
Ooh, what a lovely tea party.
Oh, yes, of course. I thought you meant him.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, so we talked very briefly about maybe some potential female vampires for season 4, but you've also showed another partnership with the Foosh.
Oh, yeah.
Articulated icon, the Foosh.
Yeah, so the Foosh did some skeletons, which we thought were great, much like the Furry Planet did, their werewolf. So we said, hey, we'd like to bring in some skeletons to the line. Foosh was like, Paul was like, hey, let's do it. We can tool up some new hands and do something a little different than we did when they did their skeletons. So so we're getting photos of these taken the next couple weeks, and these are the interesting thing about this is like these are tooled already and they're ready to go. So we're going to take some photos and do some solicitations, and we should see a much shorter turnaround time on these, which is why we brought them out. And we'll have like the two on the left there are going to be a 2-pack. Then you have the red robed one, which is going to be a single, and then also the glow in the dark blue will also be a single as well.
Very
nice.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the red robe thing, but that looks really.
I mean, I think he was cold, and so it was like
sure.
he needed a robe.
Yeah, he's not even skin and bones. He's just
he's just bones. So he just needed a robe.
Nothing to do with like a maybe famous G.I. Joe cover or anything.
I didn't read G.I. Joe comics. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, all right.
I just thought we needed a red robe. Red. He's cold.
The collector.
He's cold.
Oh yeah, here I got you, Mikey.
Nothing like that. Nothing going on back there.
I don't know what that is.
I was just adjusting my camera, Zach. Get me out of here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was clicking on the collector. I'm sorry.
Dang it, man.
He might also have a red eye. I'm just saying.
Oh, that would be.
Does he?
He might also
be neat.
have a red eye, which is all part of the story. You'll see when you read the comic, in the thing.
Because it's the guy from Cocktails, the Australian guy. You ever had a red eye? It's that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
me.
The same guy from FX and like Darkman 2 or something.
Yeah. All right. So we did talk briefly about these. These are some of the exclusives you've done. Blood Red Dracula.
Mike had his bouquet.
Yeah. Mike's bouquet of translucency.
Yeah.
So there's like another potential one you guys could do if you wanted to. Just a translucent skeleton would be neat.
Yeah. Well, is he Michael in the dark?
Maybe in the dark.
You Michael in the dark.
Yeah, they're so cool. I mean, I had to get that when I was at Joe Fest. I mean,
yeah, Mikey picked that one up for me. I've got him over there. Yeah, love both versions of Eraser.
Yeah, and I think the thing let's talk about exclusives real quick, if you guys want. One of the things that we've been trying to figure out with exclusives as we get into next year is we kind of started this theme already as we get into San Diego with our vacation tick, where we're going to start doing like we do these exclusives, some of them where you go to the show, and they're digital exclusives where you basically pre-order in person exclusive, and then it's in your pile of loot when it delivers. But we've gotten, again, going back to feedback, we don't want to alienate folks. So we may do we're going to start doing things where we have early birds, where if you're at the show and you want to pre-order in person, you may save a little money. Maybe you get like a thing like a pin or something like that to go along with it. But then we'll open up those pre-orders later for people so that they can get it as well. So that's, again, we're learning, right? We're still, learning a little bit about exclusives and how they work now that we're doing shows. And as we get into next year, we're looking at that model as well, because we've seen a large demand for a lot of these from folks. And so we're kind of rethinking our exclusive philosophy a little bit around that and doing these early bird things as we get into next year.
Sure. That makes sense. Speaking of pre-ordering before
the
shows.
Yeah, so this will go up online early next year after we do our last show, but it's an early bird convention pre-order basically. So you'll be able to get it later. If you go at the show, you'll save a little money. So that's going to be the convention price, and then we'll have the price for when it's listed, which will be a little more. And then you get a really cool Phantom Core pin if you come by and pre-order at the show. And more importantly, you get to talk to Big Bad Mike. That's the important part. Mike handles all of that with his supercomputer and looks up your account, and you get to talk to Mike, and that's the most exciting part.
Yeah, it's that whole customer engagement thing. Yeah, customer engagement's huge, from, just hearing and talking and all that stuff, right? Everybody's important. Every conversation means something to us. And when you get to interact with people and pre-order something, you're a part of something now, and it's simple. You just drop it in your account on the back end and you're on your way. So I get that feedback all the time. It takes like maybe 10 seconds to do this. And oftentimes, they got to set their bags down, or they're like carrying a whole bunch of stuff, and they're like, oh, I don't need anything else to carry. And I'm like, good. I'm not going to spend any money today, and I'm not going to have you carry anything else around. You got enough of that going on right now at these shows. Just drop this in and worry about it later. And you can always cancel it too. There's no obligation. You literally have nothing to lose when you do this pre-order at the shows with us. So, thank you. That's cool.
Rules number one.
Rule. All right. So, but yeah, that's we weren't sure how it was going to go over, and obviously the biggest feedback was like, oh, the collectors in, say, Australia or whatever, I really want this. How do I get it? And so it's like, yeah, we're going to make it available wider online. So we'll open it up to everybody else. But we also
Tristan, Australia.
Yeah.
So
one opportunity left then. Legions.
Yeah. There's one opportunity left to meet Mike in person, and so you should definitely go there and meet Mike. That's the reason to go to LegionsCon.
That's not the reason.
I feel like that is the reason we should all go to LegionsCon, is to meet Mike in person.
Anyways, LegionsCon is going to be fun. This is our first year. We're super excited for it. Obviously great folks out there putting on an amazing show, and that audience out there is like, so it's like from what I understand, it's a super engaging weekend, and it's like Joe Fest. The party never stops, and everybody just kind of hangs out. So such a dedicated fan base. So can't wait.
And yeah, Junkion's asking that about, Bill, can you tell us about joining the Four Horsemen for Legion's Con?
Yeah, like Mike just said, like we were super excited to get invited to come up there, and they made made room for us, and they've been great partners to Toy Store for a long time, and they've been great partners for us as well, and we're really looking forward to going to Legions. I think it's going to we haven't been, but we've heard great things about the show, and so we're super excited.
That's what got me to go this year. A bunch of people were definitely talking that up. But I started this a long time ago, Smudge. So hopefully throughout the whole process of this podcast, you're like, hey, these guys sell a lot of stuff.
I hope you're already got an order in on Big Bad. That's
Smudge. Also, check out Smudge and Ayo Frankie. Get Ayo Frankie up to 500 subs, by the way. Check him out.
For Legion's, word on the street is we will have one more exclusive physically available there. So we'll see.
Man, Mike's spilling the.
We'll see what that looks like. We'll see what it looks
like. Stop talking. What are you doing? No,
giving it away.
Come on.
10:38 Central Standard Time. We're getting crazy.
Yeah.
So there's a few figures that I've seen with the Monster Force line that I don't know if that are still happening, or I haven't heard something about them. This is one.
So that's the fog. So
That
we
is
showed
badass.
we threw the fog in at the case in San Diego. That was the only new thing we showed in San Diego that we had not shown before. That's another version of 13 Ghosts. The fog may end up coming at us in maybe a different line we're working on as well, as we lead into some other lines that connect into Operation Monster Force as well. So, but we wanted to kind of just tease the fog a little bit.
I love that.
But he's clear. Half of him's clear. Yeah, half of him's clear. You know, it's kind of fun.
I love it.
I wasn't too sure how that was going to work, and the factory was like, "We got some ideas," and they did an awesome prototype for us, and that was really cool. Yeah,
and I love the leg is like a smoke, like it's even translucening, like how
he transitions. Yeah,
very cool.
It's what happens when I stand in the sunlight. If I'm like half in and half out,
you're
just
just
exactly what happens. I can confirm that.
Yeah, if you put him in a freezer, he'll go back to normal.
Right.
Oh man.
And then this one was an early one, and I'm just kind of curious about it, but it was this guy.
Oh yeah, so we were doing some Kiloworgs like this. I don't know if we'll see that happen. Maybe we've got some designs around it. We kind of turned the Kiloworgs more into, like, when we started partnering with Foray Planet, we kind of said, okay, let's work with them. I think they're going to do a better werewolf than that, but Agent Grimm behind him will probably show up at some point we've got behind him. So that was like an early thing we did, I think, at a PowerCon. And we're like, okay, I think we can do something better with werewolves. And that's where the partnership with Foray Planet kind of showed up.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Now, there were some complaints about Veteran William, like the first two. I got the original, I got the winter version, and then when the Kiloworg come out, there was it's anecdotal, but I had like Tony and Jerk had problems with some loose joints that they didn't have the problems on the originals.
Yeah, we had
those complaints at all.
Yeah, and folks, thanks to Big Bad's customer service, I think that shout out to them over there. They've done a great job of hopefully working with folks who had issues. If we continue to work with them and do more of those, it's something that we're obviously going to heavily address. I mean, it did come from a different factory, although we did do a lot of QC on it. A few of them did have a few issues, and we're trying to make sure we resolve that if we go back and do more, for sure.
That was the guess in the community, was like it was different factories, so it's good to hear about that.
Yeah, definitely. Order of the Crimson Moon. I mean, this is exciting as somebody that's really into palatoy looking stuff. Like I love this. I love what Ben's doing. I love what you guys are doing.
Oh, what Ben's doing is great.
It all works so well.
I love Ben and Skeletron, man. Those guys are really good guys.
I do.
I mean, he's only made the best toy in my collection.
Man, that thing is.
Other than that, I mean, I guess he's okay.
That thing is unreal. Like, it really is.
It's the most metal toy I've ever had. I've never had adult wonder until I opened up the Roboscope.
I mean, so much love went into that thing on all levels, and those guys are they're just great. I'm fortunate enough when I get to go visit Big Bad Toy Store. Ben lives close there, and he and I get to go have dinner and have drinks, and it's really always a joy. And again, I have a lot of respect for what Cyclotron's doing, and I think Ben's great. But so this is Order of Crimson Moon is essentially a prequel to Operation Monster Force. So it takes place in the 70s.
Okay.
So it's kind of
how it works in.
Yeah, it's kind of a prequel story. So you'll again, as you get into wave 2 of that, Wave 1 is kind of the villains, and Wave 2 will kind of be the good guys. And one of the characters for Wave 2 is Declan Van Helsing's father, Adrian Van Helsing. So again, we're building out story elements to a lot of this stuff, and we wanted something that we could again continue with the lore and start baking some things in like that, bring in some new characters, but still keep around like the monster type theme. While paying homage to some of the things that we really love.
Sure. Yeah. This simple enough though. The white wolf in the red uniform is just glorious.
Yeah.
Which again, RPG guy over here, White Wolf. Yeah. I'm all about this, man.
Yeah.
But were you guys surprised? Like the collector was talking about, Crimson Moon females. Have you guys been surprised about the demand for female action figures?
Oh, it's incredible. It's out there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's out there for sure, and that's why again we're trying to get as fast as we can for some of the female stuff. It's definitely out there, and I want to see some really great female figures. There's some companies that are doing really great work right now, and we're hoping we can also put out some really cool female stuff. But yeah, so this whole line, we Dana Black did the artwork for us, which we showed at Joe Fest, and again, a lot of parts you can change around here if you're so inclined to do certain things, and but we wanted to kind of keep the horror theme alive with this prequel story as well.
Yeah, awesome.
And then more jetpacks. We had to. I mean, I couldn't help myself.
I think this is my favorite one out of the Crimson Moon stuff.
I was like,
this one, I love
more,
this.
Yeah,
pouring more werewolves and jetpacks was something I just needed in my life.
Yes.
Listen, both
Nobody scratched that
a lot of
itch.
problems
Nobody
with that.
scratched.
Right. Absolutely. You could be up to no good with those jetpacks. Yeah. But yeah, we
this is Declan's grandfather. Is that what you were saying earlier?
Well, not this character, but yeah, as we get into the next season of Crimson Moon, you'll see Declan's father actually, because it takes place in the 70s, so you'll see that. So you'll see again. This one was really focused on the bad guys, and then the next wave, the season 2 wave of this, will be focused more on we'll have a couple of bad guys in it, but we'll focus more on who are these guys fighting and why are they fighting them, and then one of those characters from season 2 of Crimson Moon bleeds into season 3 of Monster Force in terms of the storyline. So a lot of these things are all interconnected with stories and that type of thing.
That's awesome. I love it.
But yeah, Blake does ask, but what about werewolves with roller skate?
I mean, I tell you, I got to be honest. The Secret Wars Iron Man that has roller skates is pretty great. And I'm just like, why didn't I do that? Like that should just be a thing that you have on your action figures.
Yeah, you can just have a super 70s accessory kit.
Right, absolutely. Like, I mean, I don't know why we didn't include that here. Maybe it's not too late. Again, like we get some good feedback. So maybe we can get it in there. Mike's shaking his head, going, "Man." We need that, right? We need giant jetpacks on werewolves, right? So
and nuns.
Yeah. And nuns. To be fair,
and hooded characters. People are going crazy for hooded characters.
Right.
So
Nice. Yeah. So and you got a variety of hoods, and you got a variety of soft goods here for these guys as well.
Ooh, Mikey and I were actually talking about this. Is that wired on the robe or no? Okay, Mikey was right, because I was like, I did not think it was.
Yeah, the hood.
I have insider
wired.
Information, Zach.
He's got the T-shirt. So what happens when you have the T-shirt, Zach? I get you a T-shirt.
You're on a mailing list.
Right. We got to get you the T-shirt. When you get the T-shirt, you kind of know all the stuff. So yeah, the hood, it's wired there, and it's wired through the front.
That's awesome.
I have one around here. I might have one. No, I don't have it around here. But it's wired through there. The same kind of hood will be on the skeletons. Those will also be wired as well. There'll be different colors, obviously, but they'll have wires in them. Yes, for sure.
So this one, I didn't see where you guys had done the Monster Force. There was kind of an incentive to get the whole wave. Is there going to be something similar for Crimson Moon, or no?
We have not done a whole wave incentive for this. We were testing that out on Soldiers of Fortune and Operation Monster Force. For this one, there's not an incentive if you get the whole wave figure.
This got listed a long time ago, so that was partly the reason.
Sure. Yeah. Now, going back to what you said there, how has the reception been? I'm granted people could cancel at any time, but how has that reception been ordering a full wave?
Oh, it's been good. I think
it can be good and it can be bad, right? I mean, when you look at Soldiers of Fortune, for example, it's like, I want that one, but I really don't want those two. And you as a collector, right? There's wallet share involved here, so you have to. There's so many toys out, right? So you have to pick and choose. But there's ways around it. A lot of people buy the wave and then flip the two they don't want, or trade with somebody else or whatever. So yeah, it's obviously people like free stuff, right? Everything that's just a bonus, it's included. And we're not hooking you for any extra cash. This is just a throw in for, buying the wave. So people figure it out if they really want to go that route, and for everybody who doesn't, that's fine too. Maybe they pick up the accessories, on their own from somebody who didn't want the accessories. So it usually all works out in the toy industry. Collectors find each other and trade parts and whatnot. So
sure. Jersey Maniac has coined the phrase hostage pack. So I'm interested in his feedback about what he thinks about how you've done yours. We'll wait. I'll watch the chat for me.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay. Watch the chat.
Yes. But yeah, Zurich was asking, what's the ETA on Crimson Moon?
I think we're trying Q1. I think we're trying to begin the year.
I mean, earlier this year we said like maybe December's.
Yeah. We'd like to get it out by the end of the year. The paint masters are done. The factory's still tweaking tooling right now, which is why it's going to be the hang up on that. We're revising some of the joint systems on the figures moving forward with some double discs and those kind of things, because we think it's going to make them more premium. And this will be the first wave that has the dual disc like joint systems in the elbows and the knees and stuff.
Interesting. That's a cool piece of information.
Yeah. So we haven't really announced it yet. You'll see some of that like in the suited figures. They have dual discs in the arms, and what we've seen with them is like going back to Zach, what you said as far as like the articulation and the smoothness, like we feel like it helps really with that. Crimson Moon will have that in that wave as well.
And it's kind of the Mofex style, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's a very premium feel.
Figures.
Yeah,
and it's not really something you see on figures at this price point either. So it's just added value. It's something that we think that adds collectability and playability as well. So we hope everybody digs it.
Yeah, and it was one of those things like we had the opportunity to do it, and I was like, it's going to take us a little longer to do it. But look, a lot of this, I'll take the heat on a lot of these things. Like it's when I get the opportunity to make things better, I want to make them better. And I know it's frustrating some of the timelines. Like I said earlier, we're going to try to do things to kind of speed that up. But when I get the opportunity to say, hey, this thing can be a better product, I want to make it the best product, because I don't want to make it again. I want to make it, and then I want to move on to the next thing, right? Like I want to continue making cool things. And this was one of those decisions where like, okay, this is going to set us back a little bit, but I think we'll end up having better figures for it, not only with this line and with everything else that we kind of do moving forward.
Sure. And I'm sure this plays a part in it too, but with obviously you guys are dealing with the same tariffs the rest of the country is.
Yes.
You're dealing with the same, everybody's tightening the purse strings right now. So, now with everybody else raising their prices to essentially where Monster Force already was, or Soldiers of Fortune, I mean, all the stuff, everything was at that price point. Everything's now coming to that price point. So you guys are trying to create innovative ways to make the value
100%. I mean, that's why we throw in extra hands and heads and stuff too, because we want to get the best value. And yeah, the tariff thing, that's not fun.
He said the word. He said it.
It's not fun, right? And it's been a big pain in the butt this year. And I'm not trying to make a political thing out of it. I'm not talking, but it's just, it exists. It's a thing, and it's a thing that we have to deal with. It's a thing that we didn't have to deal with before. And so that's been a factor this year in terms of us slowing down on some things, unsure what it's going to look like. Still a little bit unsure in the world right now. I think Big Bad's policy about it has been a great policy around what they're doing for it. But yeah, it's been a factor. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't exist. It's a factor, and we are trying to roll with it as best we can to make the best products that we can make.
Yeah. Right, that's a great stance. You can't ask for any more, really. So Soldiers of Fortune.
Soldiers of Fortune.
A very exciting line.
Yeah, a lot of fun stuff in here where we're like doing like agents and the enemies, and so this is interesting too, because as we've talked about with Monster Force and other things, we're big into lore. Like that's a big thing that we love to do. But this wave, with this line, we decided, you know what, maybe we won't go that far and bring characters out and figures out that people can use in their collections, and it kind of spurred the ideas for other things that we'll talk about later that, Mike will speak to in terms of NPCs. But we really were like, let's get things out that people can put in their collection and augment their collection with. And that's kind of where Soldiers of Fortune sort of came from.
I love that. I love that because that's it. That's what I saw. That's what I saw looking at him was like, I mean, you're getting like some 1960s spy stuff. You know, you can have a James Bond. You know, this especially this one with the suit with the hood, like that feels very 1960s. You know, the saboteur especially is very.
Right.
I love it. And then you get into the army builders. You're just like, that's perfect.
Right.
If you want a bunch of red camo soldiers, here's your
Well,
shot.
and you know, the factory was doing such a good job with this camo work, and I was just like, and some of it didn't fit within Operation Monster Force in terms of certain things we wanted to do. Like and I was like, okay, let's just put it in here, and we can get some really cool decos out to folks. And that's where that was like, hey, let's start putting some cool camo into some of these figures. And yeah, and then this one again, like, you know, agent versus the spy. It's just a fun kind of thing, right? Where
I love it.
Like that case is going to come with some really cool things inside of it that we haven't shown. So when you open it, you'll see some things inside the case in terms of the way it's designed to open up, and there's stuff in there. So, you know, it's like we're trying to throw things in that I like. What I miss with toys is the surprise element. I really miss it. I loved going into my toy store as a kid and going, what is this thing I've never seen before, right? Like, what is this thing? And I see it in a toy store. We don't have that today because there's so many pre-orders and so many things are happening, toy fairs, this and that other thing. But I really missed this sort of like, I got this thing and I didn't know it was in there, or I didn't know what it was, or I saw it for the first time. And so I try to put little Easter egg stuff in here that folks might get and go, that's kind of neat. When I open it up, oh, it's the case actually has some inserts in it that are kind of fun, and those kind of things that, you know, I don't want to tell everybody right away because I like opening the thing. And look, I'm an opener. Like, I take them out of their little plastic prison and I open them for my collection. And I want to, when I get something, I know it was coming, but man, this is going back to that Sleepwalker thing we talked about with all the doodads and stuff. You get that thing and you're like, oh, this is cool. Like, I didn't anticipate having sort of this play value with this thing. And it's something I miss. I don't know how we capture that again as a toy community, but I really miss it because I loved that when I was a kid, to walk into a Target or a Toy City, or those. I'm dating myself now, but like walking into some of these places where you're like, wow, what is this thing? I've never seen it before.
Yeah, for me it was like Toys by Roy. It was
Toys by Roy.
Toy companies, right? And you're like, oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah, and I miss that about toys. As much as I like to know what's coming and pre-orders are super important for us as well, because they allow us to understand the demand. Man, I just miss walking in there and going like, what is this thing? And I'll buy it. And I've never seen it before. I miss that a lot. I don't know how we capture that back.
And the collector's asking what the timeline on lore is. So a Soldier Fortune, is it going to be kind of like extras, or is this works into?
No, this is really just stuff that works into the larger world. There's not going to be too much lore here for Soldiers of Fortune tying into things like Operation Monster Force or Crimson Moon and stuff. It's really just let's just make a fun figure and put it out there, and then people can do what they want with it and customize it and add it to their collections and those kind of things.
Well, then
what about? I can't believe he comes with cigarette hands. That's something.
He does come with cigarette hands.
See. That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's kind of fun, right? Like, we can do that kind of thing as independent toy companies.
TC's asking Old West Soldiers of Fortune.
I mean, as we talk about NPCs, we can talk about kind of what those things, and Mike will have a lot to talk about with NPC because that is his big.
Okay.
I will stop talking.
Talk about some U.S. Marshals action.
Yeah.
I will say this: it's an hour and 54.
Oh my God! Look at this thing. We're still going.
It is. So there's a Black Current builder, and this one is also camo, right?
Yep.
Urban camo.
Yeah, buddy.
Love this. Love the red. Really love the yellow.
Oh yeah, like I wanted to do yellow because as a customizer, yellow was the bane of my existence.
It's awful
as a customizer. And again, I haven't customized a long time, but that was like, I still have these like vivid memories of like, why can't I get this to work? And so I was like, we need to do something yellow so then people don't have to paint.
Yes. Speaking for the people.
Yeah.
The saboteur.
If the people are still here 2 hours later, we're speaking for them. Yeah.
It hasn't dipped very much. I'll be honest with you.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
They are excited about it.
Oh yeah, saboteur. Again, like that's what the line's about. Like you're throwing some things in there that again can augment your collection in that way.
I love that.
Yeah,
And
love
this
that
goofy
Oh,
dude.
this goofy guy.
Oh,
He's kind of
Yeah.
pimped out.
This is the
Whoa.
and this if you buy the set, you get the Jaguar Specialist as well,
he is. Yes, good point, Jerk. He is a perfect.
and all of his gold guns.
I did not
was
notice the
gold.
RPG was
It's gold.
gold there.
It's
I did
gold.
not notice that until just now.
Yeah. They let you have RPGs in a number of flavors. You want a candy striped one? You got it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You want a gold one?
Yeah,
You got it.
Got that too. Yeah.
Yeah, here they are together.
Oh, they are. Yeah, there they are.
What an awesome wave of
That's fun.
randos. Like, man, that's
so
awesome.
fun.
I love these. Love these. And then another one of the 25th figures, right?
Yep, one of the that was the first one we did. Yeah. So
Straight up red.
Yeah.
Or they're playing. This is a question. This is for Zach. He probably forgot about it. But are there chances of getting a blue one like this?
absolutely, there's a chance. We'll see more color decos again for future assortments.
Because it was
Let
the
us-
Office
let-
Legion, I want to say, that had that really striking blue. But I was like, I don't want the zombie though.
Yeah, let us know what colors folks want, because I'm happy.
I think
to
we showed
put
the
out-
blue. We showed a blue. I think it was a blue camo at Joe Fest.
Might have been Joe.
That might be buried in the images somewhere.
And then for that, the collector was asking, will the 2 all-in set of season 6, season 03, and Soldier of Fortune set of 6 ship to customers before the people who purchase singles?
They should ship it all at the same time, right, Mike?
Yeah. So the way it works with processing pre-orders here, when we receive everything, we run everything. So when this happened way back when, but feels like forever ago now. But like before, when you would buy, Hasbro lines or whatever, you couldn't always get like solid packs. You had to buy sets. And so we would offer like sets, and then some people would have singles, and we'd have to have the right amount of boxes. And then you're getting like partial shipments showing up and all this other stuff. And it caused this big mess on like what you could run and what you couldn't, and who had to wait, and how come my buddy down the street got theirs. And so now in a world where you get everything all at once, it's the best answer so that you can process everything all together.
Okay. The Fresh Monkeys.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is the passion project that I had. Was like, hey, let's. I wanted to do a Fresh Monkey line, and look, this was kind of just this thing. I'm like, I don't know. I like it. Is anybody else gonna like it? And we brought it to the show, and people loved it. I was like, that's awesome. So I was really excited. I was like, oh, cool. Actually, people like ideas that I have. So,
You like me. You really like me.
You really like me. I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, this is our first Fresh Monkey figure. We showed the second one that's in the works as well, it's just kind of a fun, fun thing to do that I thought would be great, and people seem to dig it. And he comes with a banana.
Of
course he does.
I mean, it's got to come with a banana.
Yeah.
So
it's fantastic, but I mean, even if you're not in the Fresh Monkey thing, like that's Casino Royale Bond. Like that's
right, and that's the thing
too. You
too.
can still use it. It's still very useful.
Yeah, if you want to pop the head off and the hands off and use the body for something else, that also awesome. That's great too. And but yeah, we again, it was just I wanted to make monkey toys. I mean, this name of Fresh Monkey, and this was now I had an opportunity to do it, and there you go. That's it. I just selfishly on my part, and people seem to like it. So that was even the more cool part.
Yeah. They appreciate your monkey business.
He does have
chimp hands or gloves.
He does not have chimp hands, although the second figure we just showed up there will have chimp hands as
the
well.
Pee-wee?
So the suited Buckaroo Banzai kind of like
Buckaroo Banzai. I wasn't even thinking that.
So
That
so that we wanted to do a fun thing, and we're like, okay, we got to start doing some monkey hands here. So we'll put monkey hands into the next figure that we do.
Nice.
And if you need an army of monkeys, then there you go.
And who doesn't? Really?
Who doesn't? I do.
Avi will army build everything. So
Avi's building monkey armies for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Charlton Heston would not approve, but he's doing it.
Right.
So here we got the Atlas. The Atlas project.
Yes. Mike, do you want to talk about this?
I mean, it's just kind of we inherited some tooling. We'll leave it at that. We tweaked it. We made it better. And here it is. It's there if you want it.
Yeah.
You're really selling that, Mike. Wow.
Yes. If you
Whatever, I guess.
It's been 2 hours. This is how it's all going to go downhill from now. Don't bring up anything else.
I mean, honestly, like people probably have seen this figure before, right? And it's got some backstory to it, so we kind of want to reinvent it a little bit, not get too much into that, and it's a customizer's dream, right? A big 9 inches, I think he is.
Yeah, it's huge.
Comes with a bunch of head sculpts, a bunch of hair, hands, things like that. So people really have kind of gravitated towards seeing it in person. Online sales have been just okay, but I think once it's out and if people want something like that, there's a lot of blank bodies on the market right now too. So it's competitive to which blanks do you want.
Lots of heads, lots of hairstyles. And I will say, if you had one of these figures previously, we've updated some things here in terms of sculpting and in terms of the way the figure holds together. It's and the construction is better now with these versions. If you had some of them previously when they were released a few years ago, one of the challenges was they were a little floppy. And so we've changed some of that and updated some of that here for these guys. But it's really a customizer's, piece for folks who need a bigger body for things that they're working on. And we tried to put out 5 colors to try to just say, hey, if you want a base body that's, dark gray or light gray or purple or whatever, this will be for you.
But no green, which I thought was surprising.
But no green. No green, no red. If you need those other colors, they are there for you. And we try to come out with at a good price point too. That for a 9-inch figure for customization.
Well, I saw purple, and I'm like, mall for me for Wildcats. Actually, shout out to Toy Games.
Oh yeah,
I'm always trying to do a custom upgraded Wildcats.
Why don't we have more Wildcats toys? What's going on? Is it because Jim Lee is working over at DC and we can't do it? What's happening there? Somebody needs to make Wildcats toys, and we're making the Youngblood toys. Why can't we do that?
Thank you.
I'm an image guy, old school image guy. I think we need
old school, not the new iteration of Wildcats.
No.
Old school Wildcats.
Yeah. I think we need that in our collection.
And Wetworks.
But McFarlane did a grifter, didn't he?
McFarlane did a grifter, and it looks good. And I've got
yeah. I mean, for McFarlane stuff, it's cool. It's cool, right? The fact that they did it, right? That's cool.
Yes.
The fact they did it with something.
But
right?
Give me Pellet, give me Maul, give me everybody.
Right.
Cyberforce, give again Gen 13.
Cyberforce.
Give me Fairchild, man. Holy cow.
Yeah. We need to figure out what's going on. I'm gonna take a note. Speaking of comic book stuff.
Yeah.
Segue.
Longbox Prestige.
There's your segue into Longbox Prestige.
Boom.
Spoon. So Longbox started with a line that I worked on with Toy Otter that is a 5-inch sort of retro styled line that we did, which we had some really great characters in there, retro aesthetic. And we were wanting to bring that scale up into 1/12. And so now we have Longbox Prestige. And that's what Prestige is. And that's our Prestige versions of these characters in a 6-inch scale.
Okay.
And yes, we started with the tick. Now we've got the convention tick where you can get a surfboard and a towel and a beach ball, all sorts of fun things.
But no spoon.
No spoon. So here's the thing with the spoon.
I see a picture, and there's a spoon here.
There's a spoon there. It did not come with a spoon or a chair, but
or a beach. I think I'm obsessed.
Or a beach. There's also not a beach. Let's be clear.
Real shady business.
There's no bag of sand. So
bags of sand.
Tick's catchphrase is spoon, but he doesn't really throw spoons. That's just his catchphrase. So. That's why he doesn't come with a spoon, because his catchphrase is spoon. That's not like a spoon accessory that he has. It's more of his catchphrase. So that's why he has no spoon. If people have been asking why he doesn't come with a spoon, That's why he doesn't come with a spoon, because he doesn't really come with that figure. I mean, the character doesn't have a variety of spoons. That's just.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ambush you on that. Okay,
but no, it's fine. I'm just letting people ask the question. I'm saying that's why he doesn't have a spoon.
He's finally coming out, folks. He's ready to talk about it.
But it's that's why. But you can get a beach ball with this one, and a surfboard, and some soft good shorts.
But not the tanning panel either.
But no tanning panel or chair or beach or water or sky.
What are we even doing here?
112 cloud.
I don't even know what I'm doing here at this point. Like I just,
I have made a horrible choice.
What did I do? What have we decided to do? Mike, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me what's going on here?
This is my first live stream, by the way. So I mean,
by the way, thank you. Round of applause.
I'm looking at like how bad my lighting is, and like I'm dealing with like this work webcam stuff. I gotta up my game for this going forward. I mean, I got a backdrop with that in a polo, but
we're happy to be the training platform.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
listen, you're gonna break your cherry. No better place than figure it out.
I love it.
This looks cool.
So we're doing Barry. So this is the thing. We do not have the rights to do things from the cartoon. It's mainly the comic. So you'll see a lot of comic stuff, and there's a lot of fun stuff in the comic. But folks have asked, hey, can you do Deflator Master? Can you do American Made? Like we currently, we can't. Doesn't mean we're not going to pursue that, but right now we're focused on comic book stuff.
Yeah, because American Made.
You're right. That'd be a lot of fun.
Batman
yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So if they showed up in the comic, we can do them. So that's why you'll see Barry, and we showed Chairface at San Diego as well. So
yes.
Which folks seem to be very excited about. And I would love to go deep into Tick Comics. There are some really cool things and really fun, silly things that Ben has designed that I would love to go deep on with this line.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So this is a regular release Tick.
That's a regular release Tick. Yes, with his Crime Finder and tie.
And tie.
Yeah, right. Rocketeer. Oh my gosh, I love Rocketeer. The fact that we're doing a Rocketeer toy still just gets me goosebumps as we're talking about it. I love the Rocketeer. Dave's estate, run by his sister, is an amazing partner for us for these things. She's been fantastic to work with, and the Rocketeer, we're going to be doing waves of Rocketeer. So we'll do Rocketeer and some bad guys and Betty and the Rocketeer. So we're going to do a lot of Rocketeer-y stuff here. It won't, not all of the long box prestige is going to be full lines, but we're doing villains and other things here with Rocketeer that I think are going to be a lot of fun. There's been some great Rocketeer figures on the market as well previously, so we're trying to augment our collection with Rocketeer, bad guys and army builders. And we really wanted to do the Rocketeer. If you look at some of Dave's original art, it had this really cool like shoulder pad stuff. And so that had not been done before, in any Rocketeer figure. So that's kind of why we kind of wanted to do it with this one. And I think it came out really great. And so we're excited about it and what other Rocketeer stuff we can do.
Certainly. So
if
one thing, question I did have.
Hey,
what's that?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Betty Page. It was just like, I want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And, and look, again, I love what other people do. Loose Corrector did a great job with their Rocketeer set too. For 1/12. Also, I have it in my collections on my desk in front of me. Like I said, I'm almost a bigger fan of other people's things sometimes than my own. And so I just, I think they did a great job. They're doing a great job with their line too. They've got some really fun young blood figures happening. So, and the cool thing about all of this, what Loose Collector's doing, Boss Fight announced Hellboy, which is going to be awesome. We're going to have some really cool superhero stuff that we can all play together with. And that to me is it's super exciting to be able to do that. And I know guys at those places too, and we're friends, and I think it's great that they're making cool stuff too. And I hope all the fans dig not only the stuff we're doing, but the stuff they're doing as well.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the adult version of Kids in a Sandbox. Like what you're bringing to the sandbox, you're going to play with the other kids, and they're going to have whatever toy they brought.
Of course.
That's what it's all about for me.
Yeah, man, me too. Like, I love it.
I did have a question on the Rocketeer. So here in the figure, it shows the fillet in the front, but then in the art it has it.
You can swap it out. You can swap it out.
Swap it out. That's,
okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you can swap it out too. Yeah.
All right. There's a painted Commander Onslaught.
Commander Onslaught. He's got a really cool robot arm.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah. And we've got the Onslaught Troopers as well. We've got Betty we showed. We're working on that. So yeah, Betty is the Rocketeer, which I think is a fun version of Betty that really had not been done before. And so
cool.
We're like, let's put her in the Rocketeer outfit. And then we did the statues, and we did Betty as the Rocketeer in the statues. And so I was like, let's do it as a figure too, and see if we can get away with it. And I think it came out really nice. Again, this is early things. We're just getting the files over to the factory this week to start working on it. So again, we'll see these solicitations happen later, but we're excited about kind of what we're doing, and we wanted to kind of show people that, like, hey, this Rocketeer stuff is not just going to be a Rocketeer figure. It's going to be a collection, right, of stuff. And then you have your larger collection, which is your prestige here.
And you can see the double disc even in the render. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you'll start seeing that as we start showing more stuff, prototypes and other things. The double disc thing is going to be a thing that we're doing. For a while.
Yeah, these guys right here.
Oh, Black Phantom. Black Phantom is so cool.
Yeah, we did a Black Phantom for the retro line, and he was really popular. And it came out of the lore. Black Phantom wasn't a part of the issues that Dave did, before he obviously has passed away. But, a lot of companies have taken Rocketeer and done Rocketeer comics. And so we get to pull from that too, which is fun. Again, we can't pull from the movie, but we can pull from a lot of the comic book work. And this is where we pulled the Black Phantom from. And Jason Geyer did a really great, fun update design for that. And now it looks really fun. Like it's really cool. One of the other folks we're working with, a company called Octo, they do Rocketeer watches and other things, and they did a really cool Black Phantom watch. So if you haven't checked them out, check out Octo. We're working with them on some Rocketeer items as well that we'll be showing later at some point. But yeah. Onslaught Troopers, you got to have bad guys. You got to have army builders. They got gas masks and jetpack. I like jetpacks, obviously. That's
what's the deal with jetpacks?
What's all the deal with all these jetpacks? What's the deal with all these jetpacks? So yeah, it's but you got fire troopers, you got ice troopers, regular ones, and it's just like, let's just have a really fun army builder collection here with this like noir-like characters and those kind of things. So that's where all this is coming from. The Circuit Syndicate. That's a lot of fun.
Freaking sweet.
I don't remember seeing these.
Yeah, well, that's because you didn't do the slides.
You are correct. Thank you for doing those slides, by the way.
Yeah. Circuits is fun because we wanted to do like gangster figures to like fill out collections, and then I was like, what if we made them also robots?
Yes.
I mean,
100%.
Come on,
that's the
right?
best.
Right?
100%.
Like, what was that? So that's how Circuit Syndicate was born. And then I thought of this name was Circuit Syndicate. That's a good name. Let's do that. That's a good idea at 2 a.m. So
good job, me.
Yeah, good job, me.
Yeah.
So
I read a whole comic build back in the day. I can't remember if it was an ongoing comic, but it was the Untouchables, but it was all robots, and they even had a mech later. And I was like,
what is that? We need to look at that. What is that?
Yeah,
if I can find that comic, I will try.
Send that to Bill, would you?
Why don't I know about that?
Oh, yeah. This looks like this belongs in some Dick Tracy stuff. I absolutely love this. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's just you can, again, with these two, like they're this is not part of the Rocketeer line, but you can use it with the Rocketeer line. You can use it with Sky Captain, which I hope we get to because Mikey did an awesome job painting that. But yeah, you can use it in that those kind of collections if you want.
Jerk is asking, is this a 2-pack on this one?
No, those will be separate.
Okay.
And the cool thing is the hats interchange, so you could take the hats off and put them.
I was gonna ask.
If you want the robot with the fedora, you could put the fedora on that one and the bowler. So the hats all come off, and you can.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of Peaky Blinders, but robot version.
It's
escaping
right?
me.
Yeah.
BP Blinders.
BP
Blinders.
Yeah, so Sky
Captain. So prior to my career in toys, I worked in the film business for 20 plus years doing visual effects in the film business. So that's my career before doing toys. But I was fortunate enough to work on Sky Captain, and I love Sky Captain. I thought it was a really great movie, especially for its time. Being a visual effects person, it was really great to kind of see what happens if you shoot a whole movie on green screen. I was lucky enough to get to know Shannon Denton, who did the behind the scenes book on Sky Captain, and we connected with the art director, who's the director's brother, and we're like, let's do a Sky Captain toy. I think it's just a fun look. I think it's a neat thing that we wanted to do, kind of a retro sci-fi pilot kind of thing, and I think Sky Captain speaks to that. And then Mikey comes along and just freaking nails the paint job on it.
Wait, Mikey did this work of art?
Nails it. Just nails it. And the reference we had wasn't great, and so Mikey and I were going back and forth, and man, he just nailed it. You just did it. You just did an awesome job. Kudos to you, man, really, honestly. And I hope we can do you a service at the factory to match what you did here. That's my hope for you.
Well, there you go, Mason. Apparently, we got a celebrity over here.
Yeah, did a great job on that. So he's got two heads there. The gun has an effect that you can pop on the top. The red part pops out, and you can pop in one that has a laser, like a blast on it.
Oh, that's.
I'm sorry, Mark Harkness. If he puts one of your men in the repair shop, you put one of his in the recycler. That's how you get Capone by. That's amazing.
I love it. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Holy shit.
That's amazing. Now I want to steal that. That's awesome.
Trademark. Got it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Nailed it.
And that's the book that we're working on this with Monster Forge and Shannon over there, and they did this art of Sky Captain book, and it inspired the toy. And the guys at Monster Forge are great. Shannon's great, helping us on a lot of levels with one of the things that we have not announced yet that I'll announce here is that we're doing some mini comics for the Rocketeer. We've got some really cool artists lined up for that, and Shannon's writing the stories on those things, and the artwork looks really great. So we'll have some mini comics in with the Rocketeer. We won't do it for all of Longbox, but we had an opportunity, thanks to Dave's estate, to do some original comic stuff, and it's just, again, like there's like 3-page stories, but they'll be included with the figures, which will be kind of fun.
I know you're gonna be shocked at this, but I want a female figure. I want an Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, absolutely.
With an eye patch.
Kevin is asking us, would you want to do that? And I think the answer is yes.
100%. Okay.
The bad guys are probably my favorite part of Sky.
I mean, the Frankie design is so great that Kevin did, and we could do it. Now, again, we are making versions based on the concept art, not the movie. So we can, again, going back to that comic book theme, but that we can definitely do that design for sure. And we'll see how well Sky Captain does when we solicit it, and hopefully we'll do more.
That'd be awesome.
I just love the brand. I mean, again, I worked on it also, the movie, so I get, but I just think it's fun. Like, I like that genre of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the movie was ahead of its time. I mean, it was just a beautiful film.
Yes, and I worked a lot of hours
on movies.
I worked a lot of hours on that sucker. Drank a lot of Diet Coke on that movie. That's my remembering.
I mean, I love my wife. It's why my wife gets ramped up. I'm like, okay, how many Diet Cokes did you have?
Oh my God, I drank so much. That's when Diet Coke with lime was out. You can't find Diet Coke with lime. I was drinking like 10 cans of Diet Coke with lime a day on that movie. I mean, it was because I don't drink coffee, right? And so that was it at the time. It's before energy drinks. I was just down in Diet Cokes like there was no tomorrow on that movie.
I remember those.
Oh, yeah, we're doing Grendel. So Matt's awesome. Matt is great. Matt Wagner's been awesome to work with. He was great to work with on the 5-inch figure we did. And, Loose Collector is doing a really great version of Grendel too. I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming soon. And I was like, can we do him in the tux? Because he is in the tux a lot of times in the comic. And Matt's like, yeah, let's do that. So that's how this kind of came to be. And I'm hoping we'll do more things from Matt Wagner in the future.
Because I'm with Jerk on this one. Like Grendel Prime, that's my jam. I love Grendel Prime.
And you guys did that in the original.
We sculpted it for Wave 2, which we did a Kickstarter, and we decided this was when all the tariff stuff was hitting.
Right.
And we launched it before the tariff stuff hit. And then Jason and I were just like, oh man, like we cannot with the uncertainties of what's going on there. We in good conscience, we could not do a Kickstarter where we were like, hey, we might have to actually charge you more for this, but we didn't tell you up front. And so we decided, let's just cancel this and figure that out. But Jason did some amazing sculpts for that line.
Oh, now I'll do this segue here. Derek was asking, is the original long box dead?
It's not dead. I think we're just trying to figure out, we still got the licenses for it. It's just, we're trying to figure out now how to do it. And we might, it will probably surface itself in some way in the future for sure.
And then Jerk's follow-up is Shaolin Cowboy figure.
That would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun to do that as well.
So maybe Jerk.
Maybe. Grendel Prime definitely is on the list and something I've talked to Matt about because I think it would be great.
I agree.
Somebody should do it. If we can't do it, somebody should do it.
My God.
Chairface showed up. Then Madman. Because again, going back to Madman and what Wade was talking about, doing, he was like, "Hey, he's too big." I'm like, you're right. Let's change. I mean, but let's work on that. So this was a good example of bringing something to a show. I mean, I don't have the gun show over here. I'm not even going to try.
It's a green screen, Bill. It's
right.
He's
also in a booster seat. It's not that impressive.
with 2 telephone books. Thank you.
Yeah. He's cut up, but he's knee high to a grasshopper.
It's Lord of the Rings. It's all perspective.
Right, it's all in camera tricks. But yeah, this is a good example of us bringing something to a show, getting some feedback, getting some excitement, and getting some good creative, good constructive criticism. And so now we're redoing some heads. We're doing the heads. We're redoing the arms and stuff right now. And when we solicit, it'll look a little bit different than that based on that feedback. And so I was so glad to get that feedback at the show.
I missed it from Jerk earlier. Coat removable on Grendel.
Yes, he will come with a long coat and a short coat.
Sweet.
Very cool.
And Jerk, square up Madman's head more.
Square it up. Okay. Excellent. All right, that's a good note.
Oh, okay. All right.
Noted. Squaring it up.
Jerk is a big Madman fan.
Squaring it up. And I got to talk about Mike Howard too. Mike Howard is great. Like, he has been a partner for me since my very first toy line. Amazing Heroes Kickstarter way back a decade ago. Mike Alward's always been supportive, and he's a huge toy fan. So he's very excited to make toys. And so, again, got to give him a shout out because anytime I want to do something, he's always like, yeah, let's do it. So that's great. We showed off some statues. These will be our first statues we'll be doing. So we wanted to get into the world of statues and figure out what that's about. And a buddy of mine, Adam Hastings, who's a Cool Creations on Instagram. If you don't follow him, please do. He did this Rocketeer sculpt that I just fell in love with. And because we got the license, I was like, Adam, can we do this statue? Can we do a statue of it? And he's like, I never thought about that. I'm like, me neither. Let's give it a shot. So now we're going to be trying statues. And then I was like, can we do a Betty to go along with it? And in this style. And this is kind of this animated style thing that we're going to do. So we're definitely trying out statues here, and it'll be a fun experiment that I think will land and look really cool.
That's awesome. They look fantastic.
Yeah.
Testing the waters. And Silva was asking, my boy, the Goon.
Oh, it'd be nice to do that. I need to talk to Eric about it. We did the Goon obviously in the smaller scale. But also, man, Mezco did a really cool Goon line. They're not quite as articulated, but it's fun. Those Mezco Goon figures they did are pretty great.
We'll see. Guess what? I missed out on those, so I don't care.
Yeah, they're so good.
I'm worried about now.
Excellent. All right, so let's just make it now. If we do the Goon, they would have to be as good as that. Like Mezco did a great job on those.
That's the benchmark you're saying.
Yeah, they did a really nice job on those figures.
That's it. You don't want to do a toy just to do it. It's like that's like the perfect version of the toy.
Exactly.
Like, if we're gonna do it, we want to be just as perfect.
Exactly. And so that's the bar, right? With Mezco, and Mezco does great stuff too on all levels. And even though those came out 20 years ago, they still look good today, much like their Hellboy line that they did. And that's why I'm glad, like, Boss Fight's doing Hellboy again, because I don't think anything's been done with Hellboy from the comics since then, and the folks at Boss Fight will kick ass on it, I think.
For sure. Yeah. Yep. So Gridiron Studios Warfare line.
Yeah. So this kind of came out of doing that Commander Gridiron, and Mark, at Gridiron was like, "Hey, can we start doing a line of troopers, because we're making vehicles now and stuff, not just weapons, and we want to augment that." And again, they've been really great partners for us with Operation Monster Force. So we're like, yeah, let's do a Gridiron Warfare soldier, and we'll see how it does. We'll do some weapons, and we'll kind of see as this goes. Mark's got some really interesting ideas on how he starts to flesh that out. And so this is kind of our first entry into doing figures with Mark.
So those little guys will be for like Commander Gridirons, like they're army builders, the troopers for that. Okay,
they're eventually going to be troopers for that as well. Here's another good example with that. So we showed the figure, everybody liked it, and then people were like, Mark liked it, which was great. We're like, hey, that skull head that comes with Commander Gridiron, could we put it with the Warfare figure too? And I'm like, yep. So now we're doing that. Like that came out of the show, right?
That's an awesome thing to include with it.
Right.
That's signature thing. That's perfect.
Right. So let's do that as well. Right. So these things, and they take a while to do, but the fan feedback is so important to us. Like we're workshopping everything. That's the name of the company. Like we're workshopping all this stuff. So please continue to come online, give us feedback on what you'd like to see, what you're liking, what you think could be better. I highly encourage that. If you go to a show, please come by the booth and tell us about this stuff. And because we want to make the best figures possible. So I just encourage everybody to do that, because we can still hopefully change some things if they're not fully baked. So we want to hear from people.
Nice. So still to ask about soft goods on Chairface.
I don't think we have soft goods on Chairface. What do you have soft goods? What do you have soft goods for?
Unless he had like an overcoat or something.
He doesn't have it. She's got like a vest. So yeah, we're not going to do soft goods on Chairface, I don't think.
No robe or bunny slippers. Okay.
No bunny slippers. No.
No fun bill. Got it. Okay.
I do not like fun. Talk to Mike. Mike will tell you. I kill all fun things. Mike is all the fun. Mike has all the fun.
All fun, Mike. No fun, Bill. Got it.
That's it.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then any chance of a Harry Dresden wizard for him?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow, that would be interesting.
No one's done a Dresden.
No,
right?
No. I mean, they obviously did the TV show. Did some comics. That poses an interesting question. 3 hours into this live stream.
Only 2 hours and 28 minutes.
Okay, good. Okay, that's fair. Thank you for keeping me accountable. There's a bunch of novels of stuff that haven't made it into toys. Like that's interesting too, where like you're looking at like there's a lot of the guys at Savage Crucible are doing some of this too with some of the stuff they're doing, which I think is great. Like there's this untapped market, I think, from people who are reading novels that haven't been made into plastic form because a movie hasn't been made or something like that. So that's an interesting concept there that we should start to explore. And that's the kind of stuff we want to look into. Like our stuff is, again, it's about like doing something that maybe hasn't been done before, or that there's maybe a gap in the market that we could kind of look for and target. And that's the stuff that we're always interested in doing more of. Right. Exactly. Right. Like, yeah.
And I put one, I didn't want to shout it out just because, I mean, there is some competition out there, but I put something in a private chat about some novels that I think are awesome.
Yeah.
That I think might segue into Monster Force.
Right. And there hasn't, again, I think it's a really untapped market. In the same way that like Super 7's doing music stuff, like that was untapped. Like no one was doing music figures, right? And then Brian did it and it does really well for them, right? And so that's great because it was like an untapped thing. So I think there are these opportunities out there, especially for some of these smaller companies, us included, that I think would be exciting to get into.
Yeah, I think John Carter.
Yeah. Although you could make a John Carpenter figure, he's made some pretty good movies. So yeah,
he looks like Lopan at this point, though. I mean, my man's put some age on, right?
I mean, he was in his 80s, man. Like he's, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, props to him. But I think John Carter. I think someone is doing. I forget who.
Yes, Frazetta Girls is doing.
Frazetta Girls.
John Carter. They just announced at San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did
Speaking of
Vampirella
fun
too.
lines, what about this?
Yeah.
No, Cops and Crooks. Oh my God, I'm so excited about Cops and Crooks. So Cops and Crooks, you know, as many of you know, was a 80s line from Hasbro. I did some minifigures a few years ago. You know, we are super excited to bring back Cops and Crooks. We showed our bulletproof figure a year ago or so at Joe Fest, and now we've debuted the figure, launched it for pre-order, kind of a surprise pre-order. You know, we just so everybody knows too, there are more figures coming. So it's like, you know, we didn't launch a full wave. We started with bulletproof, but the plan moving forward is to probably do waves of 2, a cop and a crook. You know, kind of moving forward. The great thing about this line too is, like, we've mentioned Bart Sears a few times in this call. So Bart was one of the original designers back at Hasbro when the line came out. Bart is back on the line. He's doing new artwork for us. He's going to do a mini comic inside not a mini comic, but a page comic inside the packaging, much like we do with Monster Force. Larry Hama, who wrote the original bios, is writing the comic. So we get to work with Larry on it. And we really want to do right by the original line. I mean, that's why, you know, bulletproof and this soft goods coat, which I've had 35 versions of trying to get right. You know, but it's part of the line. The original line, you know, bulletproof had a soft goods coat, and so we wanted to do that. So we're looking at taking those figures and basically looking at those original designs, augmenting them a little bit, and then bringing them up into this scale.
That gun is like
this is some new art from Bart, right? Bart's new art that Bart did, you know, for the line as well. We've got Justin and John to kind of relaunch their Cops and Crooks website. So if you're not familiar with Cops and Crooks, go there. That is like this treasure trove of cop stuff, from unproduced toys to the 80s line to stuff from the cartoon and all sorts of things. And you know, we've got, again, Bart back. Mark, who colored the original artwork, is also coloring it again. Larry Ham is writing stuff. Like you said, he wrote the original bio card. So we're really trying to do right by the line. And bring folks something that's going to fit into their collections in a similar scale, you know, why paying tribute to the original line. Yeah. And this is a teaser for the next figure. So if you're familiar with the line, this will tease the next figure for you.
That's awesome.
Buttons make boom boom. Yes. All right.
Dude, I love buttons. You know, here's the thing with buttons. I've been trying to figure out how to do that. You know, because the guns come out of his chest, right? So how do you do that? I mean, maybe we're gonna Buttons is on the list for sure. He's one of the top guys on the list. So just so you know, Buttons is definitely on the list. And then I also want to mention too, Chicken Fried Toys is working with us to do 4-inch figures. I don't want to forget the 1/18 scale guys. Let's just be honest. Like you know, like people were worried we were going to abandon 1/18. We just launched a wave of Equal Force at 1/18 at Joe Fest. You know, Chicken Fried Toys is doing cops at that scale. So, you know, and you have to ask John where it's at. I know I've got the first figure. He had it at one of the shows. So, you know, he's got many plans for more stuff in that scale too. So we don't want to not talk about the 1/18 stuff, because people are doing stuff with it, and it's a great scale.
Yeah, that's where Zambrano was asking, you know, are the 4-inch figures in the water too? ETA, any other news? So.
Yeah, we'll have to ask John where they're at. Like he's had stuff for sale at the shows, so I don't know. I'm sure it's on the water. I know he got hit with, again, going back to tariff thing, where he was trying to wait on that to make sure that, you know, he wasn't going to get hit with crazy amounts of tariffs. Yeah. So that's it. But yeah, the production figure's done. It was at Joe Fest. I think he was selling them even at the show.
Yeah, I was going to say it's there. Yep.
Yeah, it's out
there.
That's
Chicken Fried Toys.
Yeah, yeah.
Raven Society.
Oh, Raven Society. So this, you know, is from the, you know, Sean and I, who created Monster Force, are now doing Raven Society. And so we teased the Edgar Allan Poe figure at Comic-Con. Lots more to come with this line. We teased the next figure there. You can take a guess on who's coming next. It could
Johnny Carson.
It could be a Johnny Carson figure. So no, it's
it's wild stuff. Weird,
with an envelope and everything.
Right.
She's going to be Karnak as the next.
Karnak with the
Karnak is the
next. So great.
Oh my God, so great. That would be so great. But this line is something that we've been working on for the last year in terms of developing story and characters with it. You're going to see a lot of accessories with this line. This bookcase, it comes apart on the side, so each character is going to come with this bookcase with different accessories that go in it, and then you can connect the bookcases together to form the Raven Society library. So that's kind of the idea with those bookcases. They kind of come together and go apart. And so Poe is kind of our central character with the line. But yeah, if you like fictional villains from novels and those kind of things, you'll dig what's coming up here with this line.
Very cool.
Which Jacob, H.P. Lovecraft, might be like an ambassador of Ra.
You could potentially have him in the line and other cool characters. So we're excited about Raven Society for sure, because it's
very cool.
We're going deep into the story, much like we are with Monster Force.
Is it going to be in the same world or no?
Right now, it's not in the same world. I'm not saying it couldn't exist, but we don't have any crossovers planned for it, like we do with maybe some other lines, like Eagle Force Returns and stuff. Is definitely set in the same world as Operation Monster Force.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. Zach and I were talking about like what could possibly come from this Raven Society, and it was, but Nikolai Tesla and
100%.
Rasputin and going all kinds of crazy stuff, and it would like.
What were you thinking, Mikey? Madame Curie? Like we were trying to think of like a female version too.
Curie would be cool.
Yeah.
But Bathory, that's someone I think was Tristan.
Right.
Earlier.
That's another one. Yeah, that's another good one. So there's a lot of all of those things are 100% what this line's about.
That's awesome.
I'll put it that way.
Build a library, which I'm like, this is where we are. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. So
tell past me, child me, right? Playing my G.I. Joes and Star Wars figures. Like, by the way, they're gonna come out with a build a library, and you're gonna think it's fucking cool. Like, you're stupid, old man.
Exactly. What's gonna happen? Yeah.
And I was the same height as a child too, so I mean, it's gonna be weird.
That's where he stopped.
Eagle
Force Returns.
So we've had a lot of as I said, our 4-inch figures have been going on for quite some time, and thank you for all those fans who continue to support that line, because we are continuing to make 1/18. But there's been a request of, hey, we get this like, hey, 6-inch figure, can you make 4 inches? Hey, can you get 4-inch figure? Can you make? So we get this back and forth all the time, and so yes, we're bringing Eagle Force up into 1/12. Again, it takes place in the same world as Monster Force. General Brown, for those of you who don't know, is a character from Eagle Force who was Sergeant Brown back in the 80s. So it's, again, all of this stuff has a lot of lore and deep lore into it. So, so that's the connective tissue that goes through these lines.
Yeah, I am all in on Captain Eagle.
So yeah, Giant Eagle,
America.
Yeah, we're doing Captain Eagle. We're doing Eagle Force Trooper, General Mamba.
Is there any chance that Chris could maybe do a pink one of these?
I mean, you could ask Chris if he wanted to do a pink one.
We got to get a petition, like so many signatures, and he'll do it.
Right.
Like, what do I got to start? Give me a Dread Trooper, buddy. I love it.
I mean, maybe. I mean, look, his Dread Troopers were great, right? I'd love to see Dread Troopers come into this world as well, right?
Absolutely.
And anything's possible. I'll put it that way. But yeah, so we're doing the first wave. We'll have 4 figures: Eagle Force Trooper, General Mamba, and Mamba Men. What's that? What was that thing? What was that? What happened?
I just slipped in there. I don't know where
what happened. What happened?
That's not part of return.
It's flying through there.
That was my bad.
Oh my god! Let's just drop these decks here. Things just falling.
How unprofessional I am.
Oh my god.
Man, we almost had a pull too. God.
All right.
Shoot.
Right.
Shoot.
Yeah, so General
Mamba and the Mamba Men is incredibly exciting, because I think that's a really cool aspect of the original Action Force stuff.
Yeah, so we're bringing in Mamba Man. General Mamba will also have his zombie appearance because there's a connection to General Mamba to the Forgotten King, and you'll read about that in the story that comes with the character. So he'll also have his zombie looks as well. And then we have the Mamba Man.
God, I love this.
So yeah.
This is a forced segue here, but Mason asked earlier about like, would you any of the shades of blue on a certain leader of the terrorist organization, cover commander, match the blue on the suit of the agent figure?
Well, that's a great idea. Maybe we should do that. I don't know.
What a weird idea, Mason.
What a weird idea. Okay. Never really thought about that. But yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so we so we're doing the Mamba Man here. We're showing up.
Yeah, that's just cool.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
He's got a robot arm. Come on.
No jetpack though.
No jetpack.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, yeah. Again,
did you try to do it and someone's like Mike's like, no
more jetpacks, man. Stop with the jetpacks already.
Enough of the jetpacks.
Bring in the roller skates.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Where's the roller skates?
Where's the roller skates?
Speaking of what like Mike likes, let's talk about some NPCs.
Okay, now I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to Mike. Mike's like,
I'm waking Mike up. Mike,
it's so late. I'm at the office. Bill is talking for so long. Tag Mike in. This is all Mike.
Let's hear about it, buddy.
Wow,
yeah,
so,
I mean, obviously, like there's a bunch of unsung heroes that just don't get the attention they deserve in our collections, right? So you've got, and these aren't just background characters. I want to be very frank with that. Like these people have a story. So when you look at like a cheerleader, what does a cheerleader go through? Is she going to make the squad? She's got all this stress on which boys like her. She's got which friends are going to betray her to like get to the top or the front of the line. Like you can put a story with a cheerleader very quickly. It's not just like a cheerleader. Like
I've seen several movies that put stories to cheerleaders.
There you go. It just happens, right? We're all
usually cheerleaders go through the entire team from the movies that I have watched. I'm just from my experience.
Oh man,
this one's a good Christian girl.
Well, they were in my movies too.
Yeah, the idea here is that there's so many heroes and villains on the market. It's basically all we own, right? So it's like let's bring in some characters that actually fill out our worlds, our dioramas, our action figure photography, and everything else, but also give them a purpose. So there's such a vast amount of characters in my head. Like I've just got I don't know how many waves. I have more than Bill has jetpack figures. So like I've got just ideas and ideas and ideas because the NPC world is basically everyone who lives around us now. We're like, right. We're not the main character. We're all an NPC. We all play a part in this world. But there was people before us too, right? Different generations. Like everyone was talking about the mobsters and whatnot. You can go back to that. I love, and I kind of talked about this a little bit at Comic-Con. Like I love the thought of hitting up like the 80s and getting into like drugs and guns and ladies of the night and all kinds of fun stuff that way. And huge, chunks of gold and duffel bags full of whatever. So it's like there's opportunity for that. We've got a SWAT officer, we've got a mob boss and bank gangsters. Like that mob boss. It's like what's going through his mind. He's got a scar on his face, so that tells a story. Does he have to like put out a hit on somebody? He's just a mob boss. You get to tell your world and your story what you're going to do with that mob boss. We're not giving him a name for that very purpose. We're telling you he's a mob boss. So you go do what you want to do with that mob boss then. Same with the gangsters. Are they just like low-level bank robbers? Are they professionals? Are they amateurs? Do they get, caught or killed every time? Like that mobcat's very dangerous. Mobcats meow different. So it's like that mobcat, it's not just, alley cats and whatnot. That's a mobcat. So you got to be careful there. And all the masks that we're doing, this is like, I said this a million times at Comic-Con too. This is just a sprinkle of what's to come. So we've got so many characters lined up, various generations, and so much diversity too. So that cheerleader may end up going to like a camp where there's a maniac on the loose, and she has a blood splatter variant with a scream face. There's and we've dropped a lot of exclusives on you guys tonight. I'm just going to give you the one character. This is the one character that really started this line for me. we are going to be doing a stay-at-home mom, because I live with one, and I know the hustle and bustle of picking up Timmy every single day and getting him to soccer and getting all that, coffee and the tote and the goldfish snacks or whatever you need. Yet she could end up on a bridge where a hero and a villain are swinging through and there's taxis flying over their heads and she's like, in trouble. Stay-at-home moms are a very, very strong-willed individual that deserve an action figure. And so I can't wait to get that one out there. So teaser for wave 2 most likely. So that's a little bit about the NPC world. And much more to
soccer
come.
mom, by the way. That's been an
Well done,
ongoing
Dan.
joke for the
done.
Vanguard.
That's great.
Now I will say this: have you had any feedback about cheerleader needs a little more cake?
We heard a lot
I don't know
about
how he knows. This is the only
we heard
picture
a
we
lot
have.
about Red Riding Hood. Are they all built the same? Not everybody can be built the same, right? There's that's a good diverse line out there. Well,
So we were saying that your cheerleaders are more like the competition style cheerleaders.
This is one cheerleader. This is one with let's see, hair down and a colorway of who knows what will make it. There's going to be more, right?
A squad.
You need a squad, don't you? I mean, like I said,
You have to build
this
a
is the
pyramid.
evergreen line. It's a great line for the market. We had a lot of positive feedback on it. It's a collector's dream, and we're doing it different, right? I want to put character and story with these very prominent figures that you don't think of at the time. Like, oh, I've got all the the people who are possessed or whatever, but I don't have the priest to like go perform the exorcism or whatever is going to happen with that story that you're going to tell in your diorama. So I mean, that's how we approach the NPC line. This has been in the works for quite some time, and these prints were made at the midnight hour, getting the final stuff together so that we could have a nice big reveal at Comic-Con. So shout out to all the sculpt work that goes into this stuff too. I mean, the stuff looks great. It's super exciting to see. These are unpainted. Obviously, there were some people asking if they were like custom figures that you have to paint yourself, and it's like, no, they're gonna come fully, finished, just like everything else we're doing. So yeah, a lot more.
What was the timeline on the NPCs?
That's a Bill question. I'm gonna take Bill back in here.
I think I would see probably pre-orders happening Q2 next year, and we'll continue to show stuff, but we're just handing over assets for tooling now, so it's going to be a bit, but like Mike said, like we took these to the show because we were like, we didn't know, right? We're excited about all the things we're making, but are people gonna think this is cool? And man, they did. It was really great. We got a lot of great feedback at the show from folks around this line, and we were a little unsure. We were really unsure, are people going to want these kind of things to augment their collection? And man, people really did, and that was exciting to hear. And it gave us a lot of excitement about it. Not that we didn't have excitement about it before, but it's like, okay, this is an idea that actually could work. And there's like Mike said, there's a lot more coming. So I think that the variety too is something we want to have in the line too, where you've got a cheerleader, you've got a priest, you've got a SWAT guy, you've got robbers, you've got a different doctor, lawyer, different things coming, that you could use to augment your collection, and so you're going to see that variety across the line.
And back to a callback about swappability, kit bashing.
Yeah,
with all the other figures, still that same mindset,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
So
sorry, Mike, I'm gonna cut you off.
The priest figure.
I was going to say, stay-at-home mom needs to get that coffee from a barista, right? She might need to get her car fixed from a mechanic. She might need a medic or a doctor to do whatever. Like there's a whole world that we live in, like I said, and all these NPCs are everywhere. Like you just go outside and they're everywhere, right? So it's like, well, let's create that world. It's fun, and then throw your heroes and villains in there with it. And it's taken how long? But 3 hours later, we're completing your action figure collection. That's all,
right?
Right. And it's
2 hours 49 minutes.
You didn't know you need it.
Like the priest figure. You can take those demon heads and put them on your other action figures that we make, and you could have him exercise those. And We're working with Biblical Adventures folks who did some demon figures to use those heads.
Like those.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're working with Chris on those to kind of do that, and you can possess your other action figures and use your priest to, exercise them.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I skipped a couple of slides here, so I'm going back on this, but the Soldiers of Fortune, you've got some regular camo prints here.
Yeah, like I said, we've got some new camo stuff that we're
I knew we did something. Yep.
Yeah, so we're doing, again, continuing the theme of the camo stuff, trying to get, again, more colorways out for folks to augment their collection.
We have Steven Seagal, aka 78 points of articulation in here. Apparently a big fan of Monster Force and Gridiron. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thank you.
And he will be at Legion's Con. So if you see either John Landis or Steven Seagal, it's probably him.
Okay.
Excellent.
I think he's in better shape than Steven, though.
Sorry. Also, Sexy Nurse.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like
Sexy Nurse.
If you can think of it, it's probably on our list. Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Bullshito. So head pack with the Soldiers of Fortune.
Yeah. So we're doing some head packs as well. These are some head packs we're going to come out with. Also, you might see some flocking with some of these.
Really?
I
was joking about that with Mikey.
Yeah.
I'm trying it out right now to see if it works. If it works, then we'll do it. So you might see some of that. You might see some flocking.
That could be flocking. That could be flocking awesome.
A lot of flocking, awesome stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, this guy would fit very easily into your NPCs if you need a lawyer. I mean, there you go.
A lawyer, yeah.
We'll have a lawyer. Yep.
Yeah. If you need another agent figure, we've done some agents in different colors. This is another gray figure.
And a ginger. You're giving a little love to the ginger.
He's a little redheaded guy. Yeah.
That's great. That's terrific. And then
I
don't know where you guys got the idea for this one.
We're doing some combat troopers. I think, again, going back to the line, trying to do some, more troopers for your collection. We got some feedback on this guy, so he may change a little bit after the show, but you still have the core of what you're seeing here.
Very cool. And gear packs.
We're gonna do gear packs. Yeah, we've got a lot of different gear that we're doing. People are asking for, hey, I love some of these, plate carriers you have with Monster Force. It'd be cool to be able to use those with other lines. And so, okay, we'll do some basic colorways of these and kind of get them out there and see if folks dig them or not.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love the boonie hat.
The bony hat.
And I hope it comes with dual sides for the holsters.
Yes. So what we'll we one of the changes we've made is actually having now the thigh straps where the holsters are attached on both sides. So more than likely, I'll probably swap that out and put those in as well. So you have, dual holster packs and stuff like that. So
because you've got a few figures that are incorporating them. So got
so you can you can start to build them out and again, these are going towards we'll do some basic colors and you can paint them and augment them the way you want and that kind of thing for customizers and stuff.
That's awesome.
Death accounting agent.
I mean, that's everything that you have announced, but there's some
stuff
that I thought would be kind of cool to go over, and maybe one of these days we could get them. So you got your Eagle Force stuff, but some of your other lines, like you said, the blade cuts both ways. You guys have that tying in already.
Yep. So that's we showed, this is kind of, we had launched our 4-inch figures at Joe Fest, and that was wave 2 of World of Eagle Force. And then we're sort of teasing like what we're trying to do for wave 3, just to kind of get some feedback on like, is this what folks want? And then we would try to do the Goldie Hawks, which is some female
Goldie Hawks is awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Now Voyagers, by the way. Yeah.
Voyagers.
Blake
bringing
had
up the old stuff here. Yeah. So
are we still getting these?
I would like to do them. We showed them at PowerCon a few years ago, and I think folks liked them somewhat. I mean, we got some good reception to things. It wasn't like, I think Monster Force kind of overshadowed a lot of it.
Sure.
And so that's where we wanted to put our focus. I think there's a world where those things maybe happen. Again, this is one of those things we put out there. We got good feedback on it, but it wasn't like overwhelmingly like it was for Monster Force. So we're like, hey, we'll put this on the side burner for now for a little bit, and really focus on Monster Force stuff. But we brought those out to kind of just get some feedback. This was probably 3 years ago now or longer, and it still comes up. I think there are people that want it, but I just don't know. We just don't know if the demand is as high as some of this other stuff that we're doing.
Don't worry about focus groups or marketing. Right. They do. Right. Just go ahead and do it, Bill.
Thanks. They do. Right. There might be a reason that the Madman body is the Madman body, because we would use that for these guys. So like that's so that's look, we do a lot of parts reuse with our lines. I'm not going to steer away from it. We try to do some creative ways of doing it. We try to, make it so that like if we are going to use reuse, it makes sense. It's colored, it's got different decos. And, for a smaller company like this, like us, you're going to see a lot of reuse, and bigger companies do a lot of reuse too. Right. So it's not like, they don't do it either. And so as we start planning things out, we're looking at what we're doing now and what we're doing 2 years from now and going like, can I use this part or this body for something else, and what that might look like? And if I can go, hey, we can do something as cool as Madman, and that allows us to then say, we've got this tooling banked, now we can do something like this, then that's always the thinking, right? The thinking is, how do we, these things kind of lead into each other and bleed into each other in that way.
Oh yeah, I got all the Micronaut nostalgia from the Hidden. I was like, holy cow, how have people not done this yet?
And then it's fun, Space Cowboys. Who doesn't need more Space Cowboys in there?
Yeah, these are cool.
Oh
what about this guy?
Yes,
from he came out, he sold out, he did well. And would we make the transition into 6-inch? Maybe. I think so. It's possible.
Confirmed. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah,
I'm a big Black Dynamite fan, so I'd be very interested in that.
We're looking at what some of those characters from Eagle Force and the world of Eagle Force, and which ones make sense. We're obviously starting with Eagle Force Returns, but we're looking at some of those other characters that were popular, as well, and bringing them up into the scale, as well. So yeah, good night.
Yeah, KJ had asked earlier about like not Jack Burton possibly transitioning into the 6-inch.
Yeah, we there again, we're working on like Blades Cuts Those Ways at 6-inch and what that might look like, tying into Monster Force with 13 Ghosts. Like there's a big tie-in between Blade Cuts Both Ways and 13 Ghosts that happen within that line. And so you'll start to see, much like with Eagle Force Returns, these sublines that come out that, kind of connect into the larger world that we're building.
Nice. Yeah. Liberty Legion, and just another cool line you guys do with the 118 stuff.
Yeah, with the 4-inch stuff. Yeah, we've got a few different characters.
Love these.
Yeah, Star Commanders did well. People really gravitated to this figure as well. And again, I think part of it too is this is the ultimate army builder, right? Kind of thing. Like, and so we see those sales on stuff like this. Obviously they're higher when we include things like this. And then people buy 3 or 4 of them. That's the intention, right? The intention is, army build, right? That's the deal. And so we tried to pack a lot in here to this figure for those folks.
And I mean, the ones you did like on the Kickstarter and stuff, like the heads that came with them were so fun. Translucent Reagan. And
right. We did a lot of cool stuff with that just was like, hey, let's just throw some really fun, interesting things in here. And again, like, this Star Commanders figure did really well. Major Coco would be a figure that we would love to do in 6-inch, right? We all need more monkeys in astronaut suits.
Oh, and a jetpack. I wasn't.
Also, there's a jetpack and a bubble helmet. There's a bubble helmet. You gotta have a bubble helmet.
A bubble helmet. Yeah.
Right.
And a briefcase of bananas.
And you got a banana briefcase. I mean, come on. Everything is here. You got cowboy hats. You got cowboy hats. You got monkeys. You got jetpacks. You got bubble helmets. You got, come on. It's all right here.
I would say that though, it's like, you get that figure and you packed a lot into it, but it's almost like you'd want it broken up. A head pack would do that.
Yeah, it would do that. Like we've done some head packs in the past and they do pretty well. So it's a question of like, you do head packs, and then you do the thing. And again, when we start with Monster Force doing like those head pack kind of kits that we just talked about, where we'll see more of that stuff, and Soldiers of Fortune and other things. So yeah. Hellions, part of the new world of Eagle Force. Yeah, so we did not forget the 4-inch folks. Like I know
I would very much like to see this in a 6-inch.
Where
100% make this in 6.
A lot of a lot of the 1/18th guys, because we've been focused heavily on 6-inch stuff, we're worried that we had that in our rear view, and that's not the case, right? We're definitely support the scale, but I will say this is something we haven't covered, but this is where pre-orders are important, right? Pre-orders are important. We have a deal right now where we, if you go to Big Bad, we don't take a dime for a pre-order. We don't, right? It's not, but we're trying to gauge the interest in the line, and pre-orders help us as a company understand what that is and how much effort we should put into things. So that's also why we do a lot of pre-orders, is where, if we did pre-orders where we were charging folks up front, different story. We're not doing that. We're putting it out there because we're looking at those pre-orders numbers and going like, are people interested in this thing? Are they willing to go to the website to say, I'm going to put a pre-order in? And they can, like Mike said, they could cancel it later if they wanted, but really pre-orders are super important for us. I can't stress that enough.
That's good to know. Because I was wondering about that.
It really helps us understand demand. And so if it's something you want and you think you want to commit to it, go put a pre-order in for it. And let us know, hey, this is something, you want to see. And we look at those numbers constantly. Like we're constantly looking at, different metrics and other things to better understand what the audience wants. And pre-order numbers are a big thing for us for that.
Okay.
But yeah, I immediately pre-ordered. Yeah, the Hellion and the Advocate done.
Oh, the Advocate. Yeah. So this is kind of fun too. Like, so you'll see an Operation Monster Force figure that shows up at 4-inch before you'll see them at 6, and vice versa, right? So that's the thing too. Like, because this isn't a 4-inch scale too, we are throwing things in here that we have not done yet at 6-inch. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just means it's going to show up here first.
It just kind of lets you try one or the other to see if it's even successful with the character.
Yeah, and it gives something to each of these collectors, right? Who, we have seen the, hey, I'm a 4-inch person, or I'm a 6-inch person. There's some people that collect both, like myself, but like, there is a line there, a big line. And so we want to make sure that everybody's getting something, and someone's not just getting well, you did this at 6-inch and now it's all going down here. And you're like, great, I'm just waiting for it. Right. So what do each of these scales get in terms of something new? And then let's look at how popular that is. And does it kind of translate to, a different scale?
Nice. Well, that's all the slides I have. So I just have a couple of questions, and we can wrap it up and release
you
guys back into your lives.
Here, Mikey, I got one last question from earlier. So if we're going to do Chris Fenrir, can you speak to glossy plastics versus matte? Is it harder to do, more expensive, etc.? Some lines have very shiny plastics.
Yeah.
So when I got your first wave, it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's more for us, less about like cost and more about aesthetic. And where it makes sense. You might see shinier decos on some things with boots and other things. I like the matte finish on stuff. Like, just, it's something that I enjoy in my collection. So we try to work more towards that versus like shinier plastic. I think, as we do all of our lines, it helps to, keep some cohesiveness between the different brands.
And he's asking, so there's not like a cost difference between them? It's aesthetics.
Not that we would worry about. I mean, there is probably a cost difference, but that's not what would motivate us. Yeah, to do that or the other. It would be, if we did something shiny, it would be because we want that aesthetic to be that way. Versus, it's cheaper. Like it's more of a conscious around, a decision around creatively how we want that figure to look.
Right on.
That makes sense.
Oh, well,
you're good, Mike. I'm just bringing up comments.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Derek. That's great.
Okay, so you mentioned some of the other lines where you're going to bring in some comics and stuff like that. So the first part of my question was answered naturally, because obviously, yes, you guys are planning to do more with storytelling through comics and panels and stuff like that. Is there any looking into other media? Like, could you guys do like some kind of Like, could there be like a mini series or something, an animated series or something like that?
Oh, absolutely. We've got a showrunner and a team, on Monster Force right now. And we're going to start, maybe potentially pitching it around. I mean, certainly there's ideas for us in terms of wanting to do that. But look, I mean, I worked in Hollywood for most of my career before I was doing toys. And there's a lot of, hey, we are going to announce this thing, and we've got a showrunner attached, and no studios picked it up, right? And because, and to be fair, they're pitching it around. It's not that it's not legitimate, but so we're in the same boat, but we're just not really publicizing that yet, because there's, outside of attaching a really cool writer, which we have, and even an animation studio, which we have, I don't have a Netflix attached to it yet. So it's definitely something we're thinking about for sure.
Okay, that's awesome.
And it's something we want to do. It's just a question of, we're not entirely in control of that, and there's other factors at play, but definitely exploring that for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a lot of positive feedback on Stop Motion Zach's, video that came out that we published the other day, and it's like people want to keep watching it. They want to see more.
Oh yeah.
And that's just stop motion, right? It's a niche market, right? But if you get into like an animation or whatnot, or people are like, I could watch a movie of this, like. It means a lot, but it's a long road to get there. It's a really expensive road to get there, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, and at Joe Fest, Seth Green even said something similar in the panel with him and Matt LaCroix. Was Hollywood, as far as like keeping your writing pure, is pretty toxic spot. Like, they'll take it, but they want to change everything about it and make it their own and put an agenda behind it. It's hard to be like, I have this idea. Can we do it? Like, yeah, we could. Here's a contract. Sign this, and we'll talk about it. Like, no, hold on. Now, I don't. Yeah. I don't want you to take the wheel. I just want you to put gas in the tank.
Well, that's it, right, too. And so, I'm having worked in the industry for so long, Sean too as well. We're pretty precious about our IP.
Absolutely.
And we would not want to see Monster Force get taken, by a studio and then turned into something else, right? Like it's not. We would rather just not do it.
Like that's when Demoted Dracula happens.
Right. That's when Demoted Dracula. Perfect segue.
You can't allow that.
Perfect segue right there. Yeah.
Awesome.
We
Well
need this one.
We need that one. That's the one we need, right? But you were definitely exploring that. We've talked about comics as well. And that's we're doing stuff with the toys, with the comics on the inside to tell those stories and that kind of thing. But definitely exploring other media. 100%.
That's awesome. Okay, so question for both of you, and this would be a nothing's off the table kind of situation. What would be your dream line to work on, like your dream IP or whatever? Could be a movie or could be a intellectual property. Whatever, just whatever what's your dream?
I mean, for me, from an IP perspective, we're kind of making it already. There's a series of novels that Sean and I wrote called Pendragon, which is King Arthur in space. I would love to see toys from that, if we could do toys from that.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So that's something that I would love to see happen. It might happen with Workshop as we're developing our own stuff. From existing IPs, look, I'm a huge fan of Big Trouble in Little China, and I've got some really great figures, and I would like to play around in that sandbox if I could, because there's been some figures and they were okay, but I think we do something better, and I just love that. I just love that movie, and I think that'd be great to have that. And Spaceballs are things that I just feel like are missing in my collection that I would like to see.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anything Kurt Russell, I'm on board.
Right.
So that's good. Mike, what about you, man?
Man, I'm an overthinker. We'll be here all night if I have to come up with an answer right
Just
now.
go with like the first thing that pops in your head.
So I'm surrounded by this stuff every day, and I'm just happy that the industry as a whole is healthy. There's so many cool companies out there, and if you're not doing it, someone else might be doing it, or maybe they're thinking about doing it, or maybe it's going to take some time to get it out there. But right now, as long as I have the plastic crack coming my way, I'm good, because there's enough of it out there. If there's a passion project involved, NPC is a really good start. I think that's really fun, and it's going somewhere, and I'm super thankful for the reception that it's gotten, and I hope it sells well when it comes out, obviously, because that's where things have to make sense there too. But You know, I'm a child of the '80s, so I grew up with, you know, GI Joe, and in the '90s I was a big Spidey toy biz. So like I'm kind of seeing. I guess that's my answer. There we go. We got there in 3 minutes. I am seeing my like prime time teenage collecting years post GI Joe of the '80s. Like I'm seeing that toy biz come to life. So any of those retro cards, Spideys from the animated series, that's like I have to have those. That's probably my number one. So maybe 100% completion of all those characters, and I can acquire them all, and yeah, we'll go from there. That's my answer. Yeah,
nice.
Good answer.
I love
Hey,
that.
thanks.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so obviously me, right? But who should fans be following? Like you work with a lot.
You guys first and foremost.
there's a
He's coming back. Good job, Mike.
Yeah, we are on social media. We are a different account than, you know, Big Bad Toy Store. A lot of people follow Big Bad Toy Store, like a lot of people. We have our own current channels right now, which is at Big Bad Workshop, pretty much across the board. There's no like official in there or anything like that. It's just Big Bad Workshop. That's where you can find us. You're looking at, you know, the team and Adrian. Obviously, we work with some awesome freelancers, like we said, but, you know, we have a very small team right now. We're under the Big Bad umbrella, but right now, Bill and I are doing a lot of this stuff. You know, I'm running social media, and Bill's doing so much of the creative, and we talk, you know, regularly, and our freelancers that we're dealing with are so awesome and great group. You know, Chris at Grindhouse is just another person who I feel like I've known forever. Once you meet him once, that's all it takes, and you're just like connected for life. So it's such a cool network to get involved in, and understanding the manufacturing game and all that stuff, and what has to make sense from a dollars and cents perspective. So yeah, long-winded answer. At Big Bad Workshop is our social channels. We're on YouTube, Instagram, even the talk. I'm trying to get Bill to do a TikTok, but we can't find the roller skates with the jetpack yet to have him go do something fancy. That's probably going to be the one that'll get us viral. But yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook primarily. We're very accessible. You know, you can reach out and get answers from us. We go to the shows, like we said. We do a handful of shows each year, which is kind of new this year. We'll see what happens next year. I think we're going to repeat some of the same ones and add some new ones. But yeah, we're a small crew. We have 475 action figure lines in the pipeline right now, and we're working through them, you know, one by one. We appreciate everybody's patience. We're trying to put out good action figures. Take a long time. Great action figures take a little bit longer, right? So that's who we're trying to be. And when we come out with a line, we hope everyone's satisfied with it. And if you're not, reach out, let us know if you have problems. Our service team under Big Bad support is great. So yeah, and thank you to everyone in the chat and hanging out still too. Like, this has been great. Like I said, this is my first live. It's midnight here. The gremlins are out or whatever. I don't care. You know, this is my life. So this is great. It's been a lot of fun. So I really appreciate you guys having us on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys coming on is awesome. Like this is things like when Mike and I started doing this, like we didn't think we'd ever do. We just figured it out, just BSing.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and thank you for all the promotion and the press and everything else. It goes a long way.
Yeah. Okay. So, my local shop asked the question, but is there any way for a brick and mortar store to carry any of these lines, or is it exclusively?
It's like we were bugged. We were talking about this like 13 hours ago, probably. Yeah. There's
it might have been I was bugged because this was Sunday. I talked to him.
No, we had a bunch of questions about this, you know, over the past several conventions about, I've got a shop in Michigan, I've got a shop in Jersey, I've got a shop here, I've got a shop there. I really want to carry your stuff. And when you think about, you know, Big Bad Toy Store being around for 25 years, like most collectors have heard of us, right? And if they haven't, I hope they check us out. But you know, when you reach the markets that you just got somebody who's walking in and they need to have something in their hand, or they want to take something home tangible. Like I said earlier, everything's always available online, it seems. And there's a lot of competition online, so you can get distracted. You can, you know, find all kinds of different stuff to buy. But like when you're going to a toy store or a comic shop, which I'm so happy that's there's still some of those out, because around here there's not as many. But when you can go into these shops and these people are like, you know, still doing this thing and having passion behind it, it's like I want nothing more than to help them succeed. So we're considering it and exploring it. I think it would make sense. It's a bigger company decision, but right now we're kind of focusing on our international market to plant some stuff out there, because right now it's like buying from the United States kind of sucks, and there's import tax and there's all kinds of expensive shipping options and whatnot out there, and that stuff's not getting any cheaper. So to be able to offer to those markets and reach that worldwide audience is a good start. But we can't assume that everybody's going to find our stuff just through one website domestically too. So I hope to see it someday, Mikey. I think that's the answer here. But yeah, to be determined on that.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, he was saying that at one time, some time ago, Big Bad Toy Store, he had like a vendor account,
like a wholesale account. Yeah. We did have a wholesale program.
And then they
it was
cut it out.
I think that went away in like 2013-ish, something like that. So it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The idea behind popped up too, Mike, because of the whole Diamond Select, right? Everything kind of like, okay, that's exploding. So it's maybe there'll be a shift.
Yeah, and with wholesale, it's like you want everybody to buy pallets and pallets of stuff, right? But that's not always going to happen with people that have to buy all this other stuff and get their comics and all that. You can only sometimes do a case or two, and sometimes businesses will look at that from a high level and say, look, this just it doesn't make sense, but it's like if you get a bunch of different comic shops on your list and everybody's ordering a few cases of all these characters we're doing, that can make a pretty good impact. So that's kind of my approach to it, my perspective on it. But again, I'm not going to be able to make that decision on my own, but sure. That's kind of how I feel about the whole thing.
Like for me, like it coming from my background. So my previous job, I was in firearms, and when you went to shows, there were a couple of shows a year that were called buying groups, and they were stores that weren't big enough to have accounts on their own, but they basically formed like coalition where they had the buying power. And I wonder if something like that, obviously you can't answer this question, but like if that was something that may make it worth it for both parties involved.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you look at like the international space, right? So there's I couldn't tell you how many stores. There's so many stores out there that I didn't even know existed, but they still have websites. And then I was like, wait, these websites have stores. And so you kind of, if you make the right connections and you have a way that people have that market, that's kind of what you're describing right now, is you need like a source to go in and like penetrate this entire conglomerate, I guess, if you will, of stores and that have online retail as well. So from a domestic standpoint, I mean, something like that would be great. It's easier for us, right? Because then you're sourcing things for one company who's then going to do the
redistribute.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, this is year one for us. You've seen what was on our shelf. We just recapped for 3 hours and 17 minutes, and we're doing a lot. We're sorry, we just gotta keep that going, right? So, we're doing a lot right now with a little, and there's so much more to come. Like we're just scratching the surface. So it's awesome. Really exciting time. It's really exciting time to be a toy collector.
Oh yeah, golden age of collecting is what we're in.
100%.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Okay, so the last question is kind of a two-parter. The first one is, are you guys looking for writers and or artists for your future lines, or do you guys pretty much have it mapped out with people that you're associated with? And then
I'm a pro wrestling fan, so I'm tagging in Bill for that one.
There you go.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we have we've got pretty much a small unit of folks who are kind of doing for stuff. I mean, we are always, out there on Instagram, and if we see artists that we might think is a good fit for a line, we might reach out. But right now, yeah, we've got a bunch of folks already kind of on tap that are working, on our lines at the moment. So we're not really like looking or taking submissions for new things right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So sorry, 78. I'm sorry. Your Dio thing. Sorry. I'm a shill for 78 because this is
okay, good.
Diorama behind me that I staged some Monster Force.
Yay. That's a good, we'll write that down. I'll put it down.
Mikey, what was part two of your question?
So part two is, so you guys are starting to do shows now. So for people that are running future shows, the showrunners themselves, who would they reach out to see if you guys were interested in coming to their show?
Yeah, generally me. So we do have a general inbox. It's workshop@bigbadtoystore.com. We handle inquiries that way. We'll also reach out over Instagram because, right, you have to stay up with technology and people's means of connecting with you. So it's the same as customer service. You can't just like take everything over email. You have to answer phone. You have to have live chat. You have to do social media. So anyway, people want to reach out to us. Our info is out there, and so they can reach out that way. And we do get a fair amount of people reaching out with various ideas and all that stuff. And like you said, people that can do sculpt work and all that. So yeah, shows and convention stuff I would put right back into that same bucket.
Right.
Very cool. Well, that's everything I have, guys. It took an hour and a half more longer than it probably should have, that I told you it would, but I apologize.
Oh my gosh!
You guys staying in there.
I finished my hint water, so that was good. I got my water in.
Not sponsored by Hit Water.
Hit Water, hit me up.
Mike, I hope you got yours done too as well. But yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. The warehouse team went home, and I was like, I'm gonna be here after midnight. Like, don't set the alarm, or we're gonna have police here or whatever. So yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Like I said, I'm just throwing down a sleeping bag on the ground here, and I'll just
you get to sneak in because you're already there.
Yeah, Christmas bonus. I see what he's angling for.
My wife has questions. That's all.
I'll see you in 9 hours. Yeah. But yeah, no. Thank you both for the awesome chats and I mean, again, I know this is nothing for you guys to put these things together and decks and questions and everything. So it means a lot that you all were, kind enough to cater, your time to get us on and ask us this stuff, and really appreciate the thoughtfulness around that. It's been a fun few hours, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Now not even keeping track. Yeah, you're right. Now,
Mike keeping track now. It's moved on.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we're fans of the line, and it's one of those things. When we do these shows, Mikey and I we want to be fans of the product, right? We don't want to sit there and put out something like, oh yeah, I should buy this line. I'm like, this toy sucks. Like, yeah, I know. I just want to do a show.
Right.
No, I mean, we love the product. Like I said, as soon as Jerk put one of them in my hand, I'm like, holy crap, I've got to buy this. This is awesome. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're appreciative you guys did this, man. It was really a great conversation.
All that feedback. It's so helpful, and it means a lot to us. So thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Stu.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. Chat, please like, share, subscribe. We've got in here the descriptions are down below. We got the Instagram, we got the Facebooks.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Go over there, like and subscribe to their pages, the Fresh Monkey Fiction, Big Bad Workshop. Keep up to date on their stuff because you never know when they'll let you see a little sneak peek. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, Mikey, crap.
Replay squad too.
Yeah, replay squad. Shout out replay squad. Mikey, did you have a whole nother file?
Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah. Let me bring that up. Let's just pull that.
Oh, my God. Okay, guys, I swear to God, this probably won't take this much time at all. I mean, we're talking maybe another 20.
Them figure it out, boys, are at it again. Y'all comment below and be sure to like, share, and subscribe Mikey and Zakainen's YouTube, IG, and Facebook accounts. We'll see y'all next week.
Hit it.
I'm gonna get real weird with it.
Do it. Do it.
Let him watch. Let him watch.
You some kind of bad boy or something?
Yep, I'm a bad boy.
Oh.
I don't care about it.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Good for you.
I'm not even a real doctor.
That is bad.
I killed a man.
You what?
So I got that going.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor?
Doctor.
Doctor?
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 Doctor.
Doctor?
Will the congregation please rise?
How much weight do you think I could bench press?
you talking about?
You're an idiot.
That is correct.
Jesus Christ!
Eat my short. That is one big pilot.
I'll eat pieces of like you for breakfast.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
Put in front of my
Eat
If I wasn't acting,
You eat asshole? No. Never give up. Never surrender.
yourself.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're tearing me apart.
Bev and David Bowie.
Thank you. Thank you.